So, everybody around because nobody to it sin.
Let's see there. Don't turn us in. Don't turn us into the feds. It's hard. How are you going to make us do this, Max? Don't give him the control. Let's get with him. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the day of September 5th, 2022. I am Caleb Black. This is Luke, the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John. And you are tuning in on a very special prime time Labor Day episode of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Luke, how's your Monday?
Well, considering it's Labor Day and yet we're still here doing labor, why is it everybody else gets Labor Day off and we don't?
No rest for the wicked, buddy. No rest for the wicked.
No, I'm doing good. I'm ready to cover some reviews. Some crazy shit's happened.
Oh, man.
We've got Roll on in the background. We'll touch on things as we go
Oh, we're going to be touching on lots of things.
Caleb,
Lots of them.
how's your lips?
My lips are fine. They're nice and moist.
Good, because first off, thank you very much. Second off, we've got a little surprise for everybody. Please, thank
Yes,
you.
we do. Yes, we do.
For all
We
of
have
that.
a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Max, how was your Labor Day?
I'm doing great. It's exhausting. Been a long weekend, but hey, I'm here.
All right, Big Bad John, your Labor Day.
Freaking fantastic.
Well, let's get right into it. We have...
Bethany says, PWTD.
It's a
in the
fun
fun job, though. Well, you know.
Yeah, you work with these idiots every single week for hours on end and tell me how much fun you have.
Actually,
That's just a fucking blast. I can't even lie about it. All right, so we have a lot of big shows to cover from the weekend. We've got Clash at the Castle. We're going to touch on NXT
Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide. We're also going to talk about All Out and the crazy happenings that occurred after All Out. But we're going to get into all of that after we talk about All Out. So let's get into it right now and talk about Clash at the Castle, baby.
Let's do it.
Now, as you know, this was a huge weekend for the points race.
Yes, it really was.
We started off.
It's opening the
When
legend.
we got to this here weekend, Caleb in the lead with 43 points. Max coming in second at 39 points. Thank you, Emily. And Luke, you were trailing in last place at 38 points. But here we are. We've had 2 full pay-per-views. The points have been recalibrated.
Yes.
And after we get done with the reviews, we're going to talk about who's in the lead, who's in second, who's on third, what that is going to mean for the show going forward. Got a whole lot going on. Yes, it's true. Today is the day that God made a terrible, terrible mistake, and the day my brother was born. All right, so in no particular order, we are going to talk about, not on that page, we're not, Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle.
First UK pay-per-view to be held in over 20 years.
Long, long time ago. I can still remember.
We're not right through that either.
But it was just as awkward right now as it was at the end of the
Very
pay-per-view.
weird happening after the pay-per-view with Tyson Fury, who is, for those of you who aren't aware, is a formerly retired BWC and OBC World Heavyweight Champion of the boxing world.
King of the Gypsies.
King of the Gypsies. He is just now officially retired from boxing and is going to once again take a stab at our great sport, professional wrestling.
Awesome.
So we always love big men. We love badasses.
Yep.
We need more of them in the business. So in no particular order, guys, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the match that lost my bet.
Yeah.
As you know, here on the show, we have what we call occasionally a gentleman's bet, where we will pick between 2 matches. Normally $1 was wagered on the line, but I decided to one-up the game. Since there were 4 of us and we were divided on the picks, the losers had to kiss one another. Johnny and I came up short, so yes, before the end of this broadcast, Johnny and I are going to share a smooch, because I never once have ever once done a bet. Make that a lesson to all.
Also, I think there was $4 on the line.
There are, and actually, I will go ahead and gift those now, because there's going to be a lot more movement.
Money, 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 money.
Let me get those out of the fancy bucket.
You're welcome.
All right. Bestow it upon the winners of this particular match that we're about to discuss that I haven't even actually said what is yet. James Luther Williams, Max A Million Fury.
Yeah. See that?
Quite my middle name.
It's Al
Well, it's not
it's
quite
Al
your name
Witness.
either, so. Hey, hello, boy.
Where are you?
Yours is too.
Hey, boy, don't you start with me. That's my son coming up in here. Grab my crayons
That's
and
the one
mix
with the
them up.
nerd hair?
That is the one indeed with the nerd hair. All right, so talking about this match, we had Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka going head-to-head with Bayley's kids, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky in 6-woman action. Johnny and I both decided to go with Bianca, Bliss, and Asuka because that was the right choice. But we were wrong. Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky picked up the win.
Did.
That means Max and Luke took that win. Decent match. Solid 6-man, 6-person, I should say. Nothing really to write home about.
Not really.
I mean, they had a couple of really decent spots. Asuka, once again, was a bumping machine. Why she isn't the centerpiece of the women's division without Charlotte Flair there is beyond me.
I think people are watching the show because Bayley dropped the cargo pocket extensions to her tights, and it was just she just wore tights.
Yeah.
There have been many signs that people have been watching our show.
Yeah, there are.
There really has been.
Trust me, I know enough people over at a certain other show that I know for a fact they listen to us on occasion. The match that we most anticipated, well, I don't know if that's the one we most anticipated because there were two that we were really looking forward to on this
This
card.
was one of which I was looking
The match we didn't get at SummerSlam, which was Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, was absolutely everything we thought it would be. Those two, number one, we didn't get a chance to cover this prior. The promo they cut Monday night,
Oh, man.
where they took the gloves off. Seth Rollins talked about Matt's family. They started blurping out the F-bomb. So he was saying it, but you weren't hearing it, but he was saying it. You could see him say it. It got really intense, really quick, and of course,
Although Rollins did say bitch
he did.
numerous times without anything being marked out or bleeped out or anything. So, I mean...
And in a hyper-athletic contest, those two, number one, beat the hell out of each other. Seth Rollins proving once again just how good he is, and Matt Riddle really showing his acumen for being in a main event spot right now. Couldn't have asked for a better matchup.
Riddle taking that stomp from the second rope was
Yep.
pretty. It really was. It was something you don't see,
Nope.
and you had to reach to be like, okay, well, one regular stomp isn't enough to put Riddle out.
Yeah,
I've got to go to the second rope.
I totally agree.
Makes total sense.
I don't...
Update. As of right now, Raw is taking place. Obviously, Dominic Mysterio, now Judgment Day member,
Yep.
as of right now, live time.
And
And,
we're gonna
The
come
Miz
alive.
is alive and well.
Yes, The Miz has escaped the dastardly clutches of Dexter Lumis.
When he was asked about it last, he told Tommaso Ciampa that I don't want to talk about it.
What a stupid, stupid thing to have happened. All right, and in the most anticipated match of this whole pay-per-view, Gunther and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. You want to talk about old school?
Max, what do you think about it, my man?
I thought it was one of the best matches of the year.
I think 100% a match of the
One
year
of the
contender.
hardest hitting matches
Yep.
we've seen in a long, long time. Just all out brawl.
Yep.
Old school felt like the early '90s.
It made the Intercontinental title.
JR should have been calling that match.
I totally agree.
It made the Intercontinental title look big again.
Yeah.
Like it had prestige. It had numerous things. Also break in here real quick on Monday Night Raw.
Mrs. Carr's been turned over and is smoking.
It's upside down and smoking. So I'm gonna guess Dexter Lumis.
Both guys, Gunther and Sheamus, yes, probably. Sorry.
Or I mean, there is before. I'm sorry, we keep breaking in, but I want to make sure everybody gets everything. Braun Strowman is rumored to come back tonight, and he's known to flip cards.
Yep, 100%.
So
Could be
one
him.
never know.
But back to the Gunther and Sheamus match for the Intercontinental title. Both guys wrestled the old school European World of Sport style,
Oh, man.
which is incredibly hard hitting. A lot of catch as catch can, not necessarily the American version of technical wrestling as we know it. A lot more hooking and a lot more shooting. Very, very stiff match. The dudes beat the hell out of each other. They got a standing ovation in 6 minutes for 6 minutes after the match. Incredible. Match of the year.
It was worth every bit of weight, every bit of build-up. The return of Imperium.
Yeah.
both members of Imperium. Was it Fabian? Is that what he's
Fabian
called
Egner and Wolf came back.
Or no. Fabian's the one that come back, and
Yeah.
Ludwig.
Yeah,
was
Ludwig.
the other guy.
Yeah.
Took out Butch and Ridge Holland
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Took them out, so it was one-on-one. As a matter of fact, they didn't ring the bell until those 4 guys brawled up the ring.
Yeah, everything about the match felt important. Everything about the match. They had their sidekicks there. They had a legitimate brawl before the match. They had a hellacious match, and also the match wasn't short.
No.
I mean, they beat the hell out of each other for a solid 14, 15 minutes, which is a lifetime.
It is a lifetime,
Especially to get hit that hard.
Yeah, especially when they're teeing off on each other for real.
So the people who chose out of that match, Max, Luke, and myself all went for Gunther. Big Bad John, you do the short stick, and your choice for Sheamus.
Although, again, I will say, no one loses in that match.
Absolutely
That match
not.
was fantastic.
That's a match that fans win.
We really did. And here's the deal. Making the Intercontinental title relevant again has always been something that we've championed on this show.
Yes.
The U.S. title and the Intercontinental title being the titles. They're your workhorse belts. That's where you see your future going. If that's where the future's going and those kind of matches are what we have to look forward to, I cannot wait till Rumble season.
I totally agree. The U.S. title feels more important than it ever has lately. The Intercontinental title feels more important than it ever has lately. I mean, obviously, the main titles, world title, feels very important. But we are not missing out on any level of competition right now.
Not at all.
And both, again, breath of fresh air. We've also had Liv Morgan defended the Raw Women's Championship against Shayna Basler. Right? She's Raw Women's Champion, correct? Or she's SmackDown?
SmackDown Women's Champion.
Who's Raw Women's Champion?
Bianca Belair.
Oh, that's right. So yes, SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan. Too many belts in wrestling. I'm sorry. You can't expect me to keep them all. There are like 9 belts.
That's like your whole
40 times.
job.
9 belts. No, it's not. My job is to get drunk and be entertaining. I'll start being entertaining later.
It looks like on Raw right now we're setting up for a 4 corners tag match with Street Profits New Day making a rare Raw appearance.
We've got Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, as well as
The Alpha Academy.
The Alpha Academy. Alpha.
I don't know because, like we said, we can't use the sound because
Yeah, we don't get flagged for the
we
audio.
don't want to
nothing
get flagged.
copyrighted.
But I'm pretty sure this is probably a #1 contenders tag.
I would
match.
imagine so for the Raw Tag Team titles. So Liv Morgan defended successfully against Shayna Baszler in a match that was okay.
Yeah, it was what it was.
All right, this was one match.
Shayna Baszler just break Liv's arm
Well,
right in half.
I think
Rip it
that
off and beat her with it.
for our criticism of Liv Morgan, this is one of her better matches.
Yes, I can agree with you.
I know.
It still wasn't. It was maybe
The finish
3.5
was-
stars
weak.
on Liv's part.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: I still don't buy Liv Morgan, so you're not going
Well,
to get.
but keep in mind, remember, the original plan for this was that Ronda Rousey was going to interfere and cost Liv the belt. Well, they pulled that plan last minute because they couldn't get Ronda into the country.
Yes,
So we all know that Liv Morgan's time is limited as champion.
very limited.
And with Ronda wanting to make a full-time return, who better than to have her feud for the next few months with Shayna Baszler?
Well, here's the deal: if you're Triple H and you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, "What am I going to do with the SmackDown?"
When you're
Women's-"
done counting all of your money.
Yeah. What am I going to do with the SmackDown Women's Division? Who's easier for me to book? Is it easier for me to write stories and to get behind Liv Morgan, build somebody new with the title, or in the beginning stages of our infancy of taking over the business, do we want to put the title on someone like Shayna Baszler or someone like Ronda
Right.
Rousey, who already have that presence in the media?
Right.
Therefore, they already have that presence. They're already established badasses.
Yeah.
You think Ronda Rousey in a title match immediately, you're like, well, there's no way
You think
she's
money.
going to lose, and
It's
who
gonna
would
be
beat her
money.
if they
I
could?
see what you're saying, and you're right. If somebody, what's her name? Somebody better than her.
Well,
I don't think you need to have anyone new in the title picture.
I think
on any angle, not
She
the ring,
had-
not on the mic.
she had a very organic reception from the fans that built her up. I just think that, one, they didn't pull the trigger when they needed to.
Yes.
She wasn't nearly as hot getting the belt. And we can all agree, even though I'm a big Liv Morgan fan, that her run has been a little lackluster.
It has been very lackluster.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
And that's just our opinion, obviously. Feel free to
And Liv
disagree.
Morgan did an interview earlier this week talking about the Ronda finish at SummerSlam and how she, the ending to it, she wasn't even a fan.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't Liv
acknowledges that
Morgan
it
being
needs
like,
some
this
work.
is what I want to be done.
Yeah.
That was the last Vince McMahon
Don't drink, don't smoke, kids.
bullshit cult.
Yeah.
However, Liv Morgan, to me, I just can't buy her as champion until you prove to me that you are capable of carrying that belt against every size of competitor. Yep. And when she wrestled Shayna Basler whipped on her for the majority of it.
Not to mention
the best matches that I have seen with Wrestle in a while.
It was good.
Not to mention, though,
3.5 stars or something.
if you can't get a good match out of Natty Neidhart,
right?
and we talked about that all last month, how that run against Natty was just not that great.
No.
So time will tell, but right now she's still our women's champion. She still picked up the victory, and we go into our main event, which was Roman and Drew. We all were sure they were going to pull the trigger on Drew being in the UK. They did not. In fact, they did something else that we called happening a couple of weeks ago. They called up
turf ball that I talked about.
they called up Solo Sikoa from NXT, who was the third Uso brother. They couldn't get Jimmy and Jay in the country,
which I brought up. I thought that was the case last week.
And so now he showed up, helped Roman win. He's now part of the bloodline.
Yep.
And Roman Reigns walks away, still undisputed, undefeated champion of the world.
Acknowledging.
And
he is your tribal chief.
On that note, Luke used his last save for that point. I used a save for that point. So now Max and I are the only ones with saves left. We got one save apiece, Max.
Yep.
So Luke and I still get the point. Fuck you guys. So that, in a nutshell, that old
Don't drink, don't
chestnut
smoke.
is Clash at the Castle. Before we jump over to All Out, anything else we want to talk about the Clash? We don't
Well,
want to spend any more time at all putting over Sheamus and Gunther is really what I'm asking.
here's the deal. Yes, there are some things I'd like to point out on the Clash. I would like to point out for the fact that we didn't have a United States title match.
No, we did not.
After all that build on Raw. However, tonight's main event of Raw is for a cage match for that belt.
Also, I think it made not having another singles title match made the Intercontinental title match feel all the more important.
Also, after Monday
Because they
night,
build to it.
After Monday night, the crowning of new women's tag team champions, they should have also been featured, and they wasn't. I mean, you have one set of tag titles, and we know the Usos couldn't make it. The other tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, should have, at least on the pre-show. The pre-show, we got the Street Profits
versus Madcap Moss and somebody.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Something we do need to talk about also from last week's SmackDown is Happy Corbin's been on this losing streak. Badly. He's a bad luck guy, as Pat McAfee keeps pointing out. Standing in the backstage area at the loading dock, looking down at the ground all defeated, and an automobile pulls up next to him with very familiar-looking bullhorns on the front. And he gets into the big stretched white limousine with the bullhorns on the front. So, does that mean JBL is going to now pick up Happy Corbin?
Fucking hope so.
I
have been a JBL mark since I was yay high to a grasshopper, which wasn't very long because I came out the womb at 4 feet tall. But JBL means business. JBL means money. JBL means Corbin as a mouthpiece. And it also means that hopefully sometime in the next 6 months I get to see one last clothesline from hell. All of which I'm very happy about.
I would like to point out, while we mentioned what had taken place on Raw, we did not mention the fact that Edge and Mysterio were victorious against Judgment Day, and then the big heel turn everyone was waiting for.
Yes.
Edge's reaction in Wales.
Wait a second. Did we not talk about
No, we skipped over that.
Holy shit.
His reaction when he come out in that mask in front of that crowd, they started singing his theme song. They were in.
Hey,
that crowd was 100% in from the beginning of the Clash to the end of the Clash.
Was that advertised for the Clash?
Yes.
We didn't write it down last week.
We put those on Facebook.
Oh, that's right, we did. Okay. So I actually have to add a point to everybody's because I didn't include the Judgment Day when I did the tally.
Oh, okay.
So let me do that real quick.
That's fine. But yeah, no, the Dominic thing, they saved the turn for the end. We didn't really think that was going to happen.
That was the part that threw us all because we thought it was going to happen during the match.
Yeah. I mean, and then upon further recollection, we thought about it. We was like, Edge had such a good build and everything that you really needed Edge to go over there to sell that.
Thank you, Bethany.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got the Mysterio. So what is the tally now?
The tally now, well, with the extra point, because we haven't done the All Out yet.
Yeah.
So, but for that one, everybody took, let me see real quick, just for that alone, it was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Luke. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Max. And then Big Bad John obviously got 1, 2, 3 points. So
Yeah. So we called Clash at the Championship. Clash at the Castle, we called 5. We tied on the night.
yeah. If I'd have gone Bianca, I would have clean sweep the pay-per-view, but I didn't. You're welcome for that. And to that point, Luke, if you'd called Riddle, you would have pulled clean sweep as well.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about night 2 of this arduous wrestling weekend. But before we do that, I think it's appropriate. If you're just tuning in with us for the first time, number 1, if you want to participate in the chat, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. Number 2, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. You can also check us out at Facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. You can also follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can also check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can find our merch store. Over at the merch store, you will find a variety of items. We have coffee cups. We have beer koozies that we just finished rendering. We have
Notebooks.
I think they pulled the backpacks, right, Johnny? We don't have the backpacks anymore. So we don't have the backpacks anymore. We've also got yoga pants. We've got shoes. We've got a ton of stuff. And also, we've got a limited edition right now Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini that you can buy. Getting ready for your summer bodies. With our faces on the top, my face on the bottom, which is a lot of fun. It was a funny one that we made. We're really proud of it. We actually do have, I think, 2 sales on it already, so thank you for that. If you donate to the site via Streamlabs, every dollar that you donate, get your name entered into our monthly drawing for a free item of merchandise. Every purchase you make, every dollar you spend does the exact same thing. At the end of the month, we take all those names, we do one big drawing. This month's item is a free coffee cup where you will get an anagrammed certificate of authenticity that we will all autograph. So we don't physically autograph your item, but you do get an autograph.
Yes.
If you happen to donate to the site, every bit of that goes back into the show for equipment, for new software upgrades. We're working on right now getting an intro song done, so all of that goes back in the show. We don't take a dime of your money. We just want this show to get better. So thank you so much for your support so far. Thank you for everybody who's purchased. Thank you for everybody who donated. Be sure to keep checking us out, and if you find some of the merch you like, pick it up.
Also, why don't you tell them about our programming change for you?
I will do that. So, we used to, way back in the early days of Pro Wrestling Throwdown, back when we first started the show, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however long it's been.
Pretty close.
We would not do a live stream. We would record 6 or 7 episodes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes long, and we would release videos throughout the week. So we've noticed that our engagement picks up if we have more content through the week and later in the evening. So from now on, we're going to do our live stream on Sundays, and then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can expect a canned video to get dropped. Now those videos are gonna be very different. We're going to talk wrestling. We'll do like news breaks if something big happens, and they're just going to be conversation pieces. We'll drop those every night at 7:15. So if you're not a subscriber here to the YouTube or the Facebook, be sure to subscribe so you can check out our extra content. And also, every single week, we're going to have a phrase that we say, probably a quote from a movie or something that we're going to drop in. And so the rule is, if you go to all of the videos that we, like for instance, this week we're dropping 2 since we're doing the show on Monday. So this week we're gonna drop 2 canned episodes. If you go to those episodes and you figure out what phrase we said in both, it's going to be the same phrase for both videos. You have to like that video and you have to comment what the phrase is down below. If you like it and you get the phrase correctly, you get 10 entries into the drawing. But you have to do it for both videos and you have to get the quote right.
Yes, and you have to like the video.
Yes.
So be sure to hit your notification icon if you're on your phone for notifications when those videos drop.
Yep.
But we're telling you right now, this week will be Wednesday at 7:15 and Friday at 7:15.
The phrase, we're not going to tell you what it is. We will tell you that is a quote from Ready to Rumble.
Yes.
Which is a wrestling movie that we quote here all the time.
Also, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
If you hear the quote on both videos, you have to comment what it is on both videos. You have to like both videos. And you get 10 entries if you do that correctly. And it's not just to one person. Everybody can do it.
Right.
But every person who does it, if you like it, you get 10 entries. And I'll give you one more. If you share those videos to your own social media, I will personally throw in an extra 5 ballots for your name. Just to increase our social media engagement.
Right on.
So be sure to check out the extra stuff throughout the week, y'all, because we're trying to build this channel up. Thank you to everybody so far. If you tuned in, please like the stream. Thank you all for tuning in for the chat. Looks like we got about 17. We had 20 earlier. So we're getting people in and out. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yes.
And now it's time to talk about All Out, baby. And yes, we are going to talk about the chaos that followed. And boy, are we going to talk about it.
But we're going to
talk about the show first, and then we are going to get into the bibbidi.
Also, don't forget that we also have our birthdays and bullshit segment afterwards.
Yes.
As well as
a talking point today. So
yes.
There's a lot going on over here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown on the Labor Day.
Stay tuned for the whole show.
We're not going to go through, so there were a couple of matches added last minute when we didn't take our picks, like the Dark Order, or not Dark Order, the House of Black match that got added last minute. We're not going to cover that because we didn't take picks for it. It was Malachi Black and his two partners against two guys I don't even remember really.
Sting, Darby Allin, and Miro.
Oh, thank you very much. Did Sting win?
Yes,
Sting
won. And then went over, and then after the match,
yeah,
when the cameras cut away, Malachi Black went up to the tip of the stage, turned around, blew a kiss, and bowed to the audience.
Which part of that news came out last week that Malachi Black is one of, it sounds like 4 different people who has asked for their release. Originally, he was told no, but now it looks like Malachi Black will be getting his release, and we all know what that means. Greener pastures.
Here's the deal. I believe that Malachi will become Alistair again, and he will be the new leader of
the Judgment Day.
Yep.
Come back home, Alistair Black. We miss you. All right, so let's talk about this here Jake and pay-per-view.
Braun Strowman is just
holy shit.
Wow.
We called it. Braun Strowman returned tonight.
Looking fit.
Looking mean. Wow. I am so glad that we did this so we could break that news right here.
Breaking news.
I shared that on my personal page and the Pro Wrestling Throwdown page that there was rumors that he'd be re-signing and rumors that he'd be coming back, and goddamn, he looks every bit as mean. I wish we could show you, but we don't want to hit the feed flag. Chad Gable looks small.
Done shoots himself.
He can shoot himself one last shoot.
Wow. Anyway,
you've eaten your last hawk, cowboy.
You heard it first here.
Braun Strowman. Monday Night Raw. Just getting real. All right, so
sorry. All right. Now beating up all 4 tag teams.
And now Braun takes it home.
Big choke slam.
All right. Before everyone tunes out and turns on Raw.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Get your updates here, folks. Let's talk about All Out in no particular order. Let's talk. I remember. Okay, so the Casino Battle Royal happened first. Penta, Ray Phoenix, Rush, and a smattering of others I think Pac was involved.
Yes.
So a smattering of others.
No. Pac wrestled Kip Sabian on Zero.
Oh, that's right.
Also, we want to touch on 0 Hour real quick. Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti retained the AAA Mixed Tag Team titles and broke Ruby Soho's nose.
And Eddie Kingston defeated Tomohiro Ishii.
Yes.
What was originally supposed to happen, this was some news we didn't get to cover, was the original match plan for that was going to be Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara. But they had a backstage altercation over a promo that Sammy Guevara cut talking about Eddie Kingston's weight, and they got into a legitimate fist fight, so they both got suspended. And if you think that's the only crazy thing that happened this week, stay tuned to the end of this fucking show, because we're going to talk about that media scrum and all the craziness that happened. So back to the show over here. The AEW Trios title match with Adam Page and the Dark Order against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Dude, here's the deal. We all knew where this tag team trios match was going.
Not a question in anyone's mind.
We knew who the titles were going to go on when they announced them.
Oh, backtrack 1 second. A masked man came out and won the Casino Battle Royal with the help of
Stokely
Hathaway and his group, which consisted of Ethan Page, Big Cass,
yes,
and a number of other guys. But he came out masked. We don't know who it is until the end of the show. Spoilers, it was MJF, but we'll get into that here in a minute.
Yes.
So back to the 3-way for the Trios titles. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks against Dark Order and Hangman Page. They had a great moment with Omega and Page after both tag teams were outside where they fired up on each other. Yeah. They talked some smack going back to Adam Page defeating Kenny Omega for the world title.
Yes.
It was a Young Bucks Kenny Omega match.
It really was.
They flipped, they flew, they hit all they hit the super kicks, they hit the Meltzer driver, they hit the V trigger, they did all their fancy tricks, and they picked up the win. They're your new Trios champions in AEW.
Here's the deal. The match was won by a missed.
Yep.
What does he call it? Flip forward lariat. I don't know what he calls it.
Buckshot lariat.
Went for the buckshot lariat.
Braun Strowman's doing the Hulk Hogan.
Hit the clothesline on Jonathan Silver, and that was pretty much it.
Damn, he's over. That's crazy.
But so your new Trios champions, no surprise.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega and the Elite.
Yeah. Throw a rock and find a surprise person about that.
Right.
We did have the Fatal 4-Way for the interim AEW Women's Championship that took place between Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. Max, myself, and Big Bad John went with Britt Baker. Luke, you picked up the lucky win with Toni Storm, your new
We
interim
have a point
AEW.
of something up. Did we miss something in the chat?
Excited for more content, maybe? Needs another book. Glad to see he's back.
I don't.
I don't know. Well, either way, Sean, thank you for joining the live stream, sir. Maybe he's just giving a job well done.
Agree.
Anyway, so it was a good match. Toni Storm came out on top. They did a lot of. Kevin, it's not over with the fans. Well, no, but frankly, that would have been the person they were going to pick strictly because Thunder Rosa's out.
Yeah, you're
and
gonna
their
need-
friends, when Thunder Rosa returns from her injury or whatever the situation there is,
She can lose to Toni
she
Storm.
can lose to Toni Storm or vice versa, and they can build the story from there.
I would also like to point out that I was the only one that went with Toni Storm.
I just said that. You are correct, sir.
I know, I just wanted to hear you say it again.
We had Wardlow and FTR taking on the Guns and Jay Lethal.
Yes.
First of all, the Guns looked like $1,000,001.
Always do.
The tag stuff they did with FTR, always impressive. Great tag team. FTR killed it. They always do.
Always do.
Wardlow picked up the victory with a powerbomb. Then they had a really cool moment with Dax's daughter. When
Come
she
in
came
and
out the
pin.
ring and then put her foot over Jay Lethal's chest, or Sanjay Dutt.
Sanjay
They
Dutt.
got the little applaud there. And Samoa Joe returned.
Samoa Joe
So
did
we had a
return.
lot going on in that match, but it was exactly what you expected. It was quick, maybe 7 minutes, bell to bell, but fantastic. We had Swerve in the match of the night for AEW, bar none. Swerve and Our Glory took on the Acclaimed for the AEW Tag Team titles.
Yes.
They went almost 30 minutes. The Acclaimed was over like Rover.
They really
With
were.
the crowd, the fact that they didn't pull the trigger, I know the plan was for Swerve and Our Glory to retain, but that's when Tony Khan should have called it off. Because that was the loudest pop they'd ever gotten, and they were on fire.
They really are. Now, here's the deal. We've got an AEW Grand Slam coming up,
Yep.
which Tony Khan, during the media scrum, which we'll get to, mentioned
wait.
that the rematch for those tag titles looks like a very strong possibility for AEW's Grand Slam. And if
Yeah.
that's the case, I bet we have new tag team
If they
champions.
don't pull the trigger on the Acclaimed right now, they're going to miss their opportunity.
Yes.
Because their talent is so niche that they can get a lot of momentum at any time, but it's going to be tough keeping it unless you capitalize on it.
100%.
They're not one of those guys who they're not an act that can simmer for long.
Right.
You got to pull the trigger, and we hope they do because that was a match of the night. It was incredible. That should be a match of the year contender as well, up against Gunther and Sheamus, in my opinion, from the weekend. We had Jericho and Danielson. Jericho came out with White Noise, or White Zombie.
White Zombie.
His Lionheart theme song from ECW. Looked great. Probably, again, one of his best matches he's had in a long time.
Well, for a man that was suffering from a blood clot just
Yeah.
a couple months back,
I mean,
has really got himself in shape, and he's
people
really
can
looking
say
good.
what they want. You don't have to like Jericho, but you got to respect it at his age and the condition he's in. Not every match has been a winner. We've talked about his botches. We've talked about his fuck-ups. But when
Right.
Jericho shows up and he's on, it's hard to find somebody better.
It really is. I would like to point out right now, like I said, we're doing a live review for Raw as well. Braun Strowman has returned.
Yes.
He destroyed everyone at ringside. They went to commercial. They come back. He was still at ringside.
And now he's...
And now they've finally gotten him to go to the back again. Braun Strowman is, again, officially part of the Monday Night Raw.
Yes. But Danielson and Jericho killed it. Jericho picked up the win. Damn good match.
Also, his buddy, Garcia,
Yeah.
was not at ringside to celebrate
Totally agreed.
as they won.
No, he was not. We also got, in a match I was sure I was going to call, right? Ricky Starks against Big Will Hobbs. Damn good match. Again, not super long.
No.
Hobbs looked like $1 million. Starks bumped his ass off, sold his ass off. Starks got in some solid offense, but Big Willie Hobbs took the big win.
Here's the deal, man. Nobody loses in that match.
Nope.
Nobody loses.
Both
men
guys are going to be main
forward.
eventers.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Big Will Hobbs could be a contender for Wardlow.
I agree.
I really
For
think
the
those
TNT
matches
title,
would go well.
or TNT title.
Yeah.
I was the odd man out on Starks. All you guys chose Big Willie. Jade
Really?
Cargill and Athena had their match for the TBS title. Damn good match.
Jade-
Also quick
Jade coming out dressed as
as
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. And that, again, Jade gets better and better, man.
She really does.
When she started, she was rough, but every single week she puts in the work. She's now, I think, 37-0.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to title defenses, she's killing it, man. Athena looked great too. Athena had a good showing.
In my opinion, I don't believe that Athena was ever really a threat.
Nor do I. I think she was there specifically to make Jade look good.
Speaking of not really threats, we have the newly crowned women's tag team champions holding the ring on Raw.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes. Which she come out right after Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Ain't that a thing?
How about that?
Yeah.
We also had, as soon as I can turn this page back here.
You think that was a condition of Braun signing back? Give him a woman
Give him a woman title, yeah. Christian and Jungle Boy.
Okay. Christian has an injury.
Yeah.
Which was brought out today in the aftermath of what happened All Out last night. They had to change the story because Christian wasn't ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, physically was not healthy enough to go, so they pulled the trigger on
Luchasaurus turning heel and choosing Christian's side.
turning on Jungle Boy as he was making his entrance to the ring.
Yep.
So there was basically he chokeslammed Jungle Boy on the stage.
Yep.
Power bombed him through a table.
Yep.
And then Christian got the pinfall.
All I'm saying is Luchasaurus can be money if he works the right way. We said it before. When he first turned heel from that little run before Jungle Boy, he was working like a big man.
Well, what do? You have to put him with somebody that's going to be able to help him. Christian, of all people,
Can work
take
with
him
him
under
and
his
make
wing.
him something special.
It'll be good.
Yeah. So for that one, myself, Max, and Big Bad John all chose Christian. Luke, you were the odd man out on Jungle Boy. We got two.
Well, and I think Jungle Boy would have won if Christian would have been healthy.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to change it last minute.
Yeah. And then we get to our main event, CM Punk and Jon Moxley for the undisputed, unified AEW World Championship.
Again,
CM Punk picking up the win. In a
In
good
Chicago.
match. Both men were bloody. Punk was over like gangbusters in his hometown.
so here's the deal. Is he going to drop the belt and every time they come back to Chicago win it again?
Probably, but they're going to keep making money while they do it. So that's the pay-per-view.
Well, here's the deal. Let's
do our points real quick, yeah. So for that one, I took 6 points. Luke, 8 points. Max, 7 points. Big Bad John, 7 points as well.
Also, for anybody watching last week's show, I did call that the Joker would win the Casino Battle Royal.
Yes, you did.
However,
We didn't.
it was not an
establish it.
official pick. I would just
So-
like to point that out.
Before we talk about the media scrum, because I know that's what people want to hear about, let's talk about where we stand on our point race.
Let's do it. We
for
also need
WrestleMania.
to mention that the Joker pulled the mask off.
And it was MJF. He had a
MJF.
great stare down with Punk, and it was also part of the altercation, but we'll get into that here in a minute.
Yeah.
So we started off, again, I'll recap. I had 43 points going in. Max, you had 39. Luke, you had 38. We are closing the tally out today from all of our victories. Max, you are now in third place at 49 points. Luke, you are now in second place at 50 points. And yours truly, the face, is still in the lead with 53 points.
I would like to point out that I won 11 points.
Yes, you did. Probably your best weekend.
One weekend.
Yeah. Max, you still got a save left. I've still got a save left. Max, Luke, you're out of saves.
Not saying.
You got no saves left,
Don't
Jack.
need them. It's Rumble season, baby. Don't need them.
Rumble's not for another 5 months. Shut up.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just a coming.
So let's talk about the chaos that was the media scrum.
You
after
sure
all
do
that.
need to get a point.
Okay,
You
first
set
of all,
yourself up for that one.
before we get into this,
Now, why don't you go ahead and sip that Mountain Dew that you got in the cup there. Mountain Dew's coming in a different bottle nowadays.
Gatorade making wine now. Name that
Also,
movie.
don't drink, don't smoke.
CM Punk, directly after his victory, sits down at the table with belt in hand and proceeds to bury everyone.
Yeah.
Buries the Bucks, buries Omega, buries Colt Cabana, buries, talked about how if MJF and anybody else who didn't want to work here, the grass is greener where you water it, but if you don't want to be here, get the fuck out. Now, before the media scrum, there was another altercation backstage between Omega, the Bucks, and Punk. Now, that's not when the fight started. The fight started after the media scrum. So then all of that shooting and all of that jaw jacking that Punk was doing, Tony Khan was completely unaware of any issues that were going on.
Yes, it was noted that he didn't have his cell phone on him, so he could not be reached to be told anything that had been done backstage before the media scrum itself.
So after the media scrum, after Punk decides to shit where he eats and bury everyone,
Everyone.
Brought up how he hasn't been friends with Colt, which this is a good point. He brought up how he hasn't been friends with Colt Cabana for 11 years.
He also brought up the fact that Colt shares a bank account with his mother. Which, come on, man.
But remember,
why you got to be like
Punk
that?
was giving Colt all that money during the legal proceedings, and it wasn't getting spent on what it was supposed to.
Why you got to be like that, Phil?
So,
come on, Phil.
Then CM Punk goes to the back, and Omega and the Bucks are hot.
Yeah.
And they decide to start a fight. And with CM Punk finally etching a win on his MMA career, won 1-on-3, apparently punched Matt Jackson in the face. Ace Steel got involved. He pulled Kenny Omega's hair and bit him, which Ace Steel can go, so I have no idea why he did that. And then Ace Steel also threw a chair that cracked Nick Jackson in the face. All of this leading up to Bucks and Omega threatening to leave, threatening to walk, other talent getting involved, MJF being hot about the comments being made. Now, the question on everybody's mind, is it a work? Is it legitimate? Is it just being caused to cause chaos backstage? Here's the deal. If it's a work, if you come to this channel and you want everything to be work, go fuck yourself. Wrestling's fun. You don't have to know. It's fun to speculate. That's why we do this. And before the internet and before DVDs and before we started letting the fans come backstage and hang out with us, it was work for 50 fucking years. Get it through your heads. Because I'm not going to repeat this until next week. If it's a work, great. If it's not, even better. Why? Because we need more dudes in wrestling who are going to be dicks. And look, I am not a CM Punk fan, and I think he was a major asshole for everything he did. But I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say, at least on some level, goddamn, it's good to have one legitimate heel back in the game who says what he thinks.
Here's the deal when it comes to legitimate heels. Yes, if CM Punk wants to be a legitimate heel, though, he needs not to be so injury-prone, because if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
That's damn right. And here's the other part to that. Do I condone what he said? Fuck no. You're the highest paid dude on that roster. There were guys who were making a fucking eighth of what you were making that built that company on your backs. You got the fanfare to walk through the door, even though everybody in the precedented world knew that you were a diva. I've known you were a diva since you were in Ring of Honor, dick. Also, you show up, you're making more money than everybody, you're getting more push than everybody, and in your moment of triumph, you decided to take that opportunity to tell all those guys who aren't making as much money of you how much they suck. That's a dick move. Go fuck yourself. You
also,
egotistical crybaby.
Did you see the point of the scrum where he was eating the big piece of cake? CM Punk had a giant piece of cake, which was a shot at the Eddie Kingston fat shaming thing that he ate an entire giant piece of cake while doing all of it.
Kevin Owens responded with a picture of him and Stone Cold at WrestleMania because him and the Bucks are tight. The drama's spilling over to all the companies. You know what? Eric Bischoff wrote a book called Controversy Creates Cash. And here we are. At the proof is in the pudding, and here we sit at the table of the eating because we are talking about the chaos. That is the finer point than the pay-per-view.
It really is. It really is. Now, here's the deal. Like you said, if it's a work, good on you. If it's real, here's the deal. First off, yes, it's good to have somebody back. Thank you, Ben. It's good to have somebody back in the business that's willing to push these buttons and willing to do all this. However, here's the deal. Let somebody in on some stuff and don't let Tony Khan just sit there and hear about all of this shit at once. Because if it's real, the lunatics are running the asylum. And here's the deal. Dixie Carter.
Eric Bischoff.
The list goes on and on. Paul Heyman. When you let the lunatics run the asylum, there is no order. And here's the deal. You want to be... do you want to be a company in 2 years? Or do you want your content that you poured all your money into and all your heart into to be part of the WWE network? It's really your choice.
Well, and that's the next argument, too. All these guys involved, let's say Omega and the Bucks do want to leave. And let's say there is some interest in the from the WWE. Let's just say, for instance, because they were interested in Omega Heavy at one time.
At one point.
And the Bucks. They decide to leave AEW, and they want to march over to the WWE. You think Triple H is going to let drama fly through his fucking door? Triple H was the original shit stirrer when it came to pro wrestling. He knows all that shit.
Well, and not only that, with Michaels as his right-hand man,
and you're also not going to walk into a corporately ran environment. This isn't one guy. This isn't one guy fronting the money. This is a team of billionaires determining the future of that company at all times. So it's not going to be something where you can just walk in and show your ass, because they'll show you the door. And now, especially with all of these road agents who've been on the road forever, being contacted and tapped for spots backstage, Taker being tapped for a spot backstage, please, young bucks, go to Taker's locker room and show your ass.
Here's the deal. I believe if they went to WWE, actually, might be rather entertaining. To have the Elite versus DX, I'd be down.
MJF saunters on over. Hello, Cody. Remember me?
Here's the deal.
Money.
Chris Jericho said that the reason everybody was all upheaval and in a bad mood anyway is because they had a private meeting with a bunch of the roster and shit got leaked. They said that it was the Bucks who leaked it.
Well, and also, though, in that meeting, Omega buried the roster, too. Omega said, if he was the one still doing the hiring, he wouldn't have hired a third of the guys that were there. Which is funny, considering he hired the first slick of guys who were there that should have never been on TV, like the Best Friends and the other yahoos that started in that company. So literally, we don't know who's calling the shots.
Did we cover that Ace Steel bit a man?
We did. Ace Steel bit a man.
Let me ask you a question.
And to that I say, give him the belt.
Here, a question.
Yo.
Due to that, are they going to change the name from the AEW video game to Bite Forever?
Bite Forever. I've been in a number of fights.
I ain't never bit nobody.
One or two in my day.
I ain't never bit nobody. I don't want nobody to
I've never bitten a person.
Never.
I have never done that.
Okay, I might have bit somebody once. I might have bit somebody
I didn't
once.
say I haven't bitten somebody. I said I haven't bitten anybody in a fight. I know what I'm about.
Holy diver.
You've got too long in the midnight swing.
Anyway, so if it's real, awesome.
Great. If it's not,
awesome.
I'm loving the chaos. Look, because the WWE is so polished. It is so controlled, and it has to be, for the reason we've already mentioned. But the wild, wild west that was pro wrestling up until the 90s was just that. Dudes being crazy, dudes getting into fights, dudes going ham, dudes fucking drinking and carrying on. And I'm not saying that's what's best for business, but I am saying if you've got one major company where wrestlers are living the wrestler lifestyle, then I'm all about it.
Agreed. Fighting and hair pulling sounds like a fun night.
Well,
but not for Kenny Omega.
Okay, the worst fights in wrestling have always been documented. There's the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart fight, and then the Great Khali and Big Show fight. This one will take the cake at being the worst wrestling fight ever.
It's up there. Right now on Raw, we're getting a recap of Sheamus' standing ovation.
Yep.
After his match with Gunther.
Just
by the
like
way,
hamburger meat.
Here's the deal. Give me 3 more of those matches.
Please.
And don't care if you run it till Mania right now. Those are the 2 I want to see lock up again.
And then give me Gunther and Shinsuke in a big program.
Agreed.
Please. For my money. All right, so before we hop on over, because that's pretty much all we got to talk about. We had the media scrum. We had the pay-per-views we wanted to cover. We're doing the live stream of Raw over here. We're going to get to our next segment here in just a minute. But first, if you're just tuning in, make sure to please like the stream, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to comment especially. Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can also check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our merch store. Over at the merch store, you're going to find a variety of items. We've got koozies, we've got cups, we've got stuff, we've got bags, we've got notebooks, we've got a variety of things, sneakers.
Pro Wrestling Throwdown the bikini.
Yeah, we've got magnets, and for a limited time, we have the Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini, which has our face on the top, my face on the bottom. It's a limited run item. We did sort of as a joke, but it's selling, so I'm afraid
they're very comfortable and they feel good against your skin.
Great. So be sure to check that out. If you donate to the site, every dollar you donate gets a name in the drawing. Every dollar you spend buying gets a name in the drawing. Every donation you make goes back to the channel. At the end of the month, we do a drawing for an item from the merch store. This month is going to be a Pro Wrestling Throwdown mug that will have an autographed certificate of authenticity. That way we don't autograph the physical item.
We will be announcing our winner.
We will be announcing the winner for that. Oh, that was for August, so we're done with that.
Will be next
Sunday.
show.
Next Sunday we'll do the drawing live. Thank you, Max, because I totally didn't realize that we skipped August.
Also, we want to point out that this week programming is going to change on the
Yes.
So our next giveaway is a phone call.
Yes, our giveaway for September is going to be a live phone call with the members here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown, which we're going to live stream over the show. So be sure to buy, be sure to donate for all that. So we're going to be dropping 2 extra videos this week, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. We're going to be changing our programming every week where we drop canned videos every single week outside of the live stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is to up our engagement. That is to get more content made throughout the week. And every week we're going to have a phrase that we say in all of those videos. So this week it's going to be a quote from
Ready to run.
Ready to Rumble. What you have to do is you have to watch both videos, you have to like both videos, and you have to comment what the quote is in both videos. If you do that, you get 10. You get your name shared 10 extra
I
times in
will
the drawing.
totally model a bikini. I am totally down.
If you share those videos to your social media, you get 5 extra drawings. So if you help us share the page and like our content and comment, you get your name entered into the drawing. Extra, it's just an opportunity to win some extra stuff and an opportunity for us to make more content.
This week's only going to be 2 videos at
Wednesday and Friday at 7:15.
That's right.
So
Also, Max could maybe model the bikini, but we're going to have to figure out how to make the front of one a lot larger.
it's so much bigger, so like a T-Rex's tail. So with that being said, it's that's right, kids. We're playing that game today.
7:15 was 7:15. It's prime time.
Yeah. So, with that being said, it's time for, I'll repeat that real quick. We do a drawing at the end of every month that features some of our merchandise. This month, for the August drawing, is going to be a coffee cup with a Pro Wrestling Throwdown logo. This month, we're not doing an actual item. We're going to be giving away a free phone call that we're going to live stream over the show. So that's a recap, Mac. Thank you for asking. With that being said, it's
You
time
can do all that at streamlabs.com
/ Pro Wrestling Throwdown. With all that being said, it is time for our favorite segment of the week. It's time for birthdays.
Bullshit.
Max, take it away.
All right. It's time for some birthdays. Before we do, as of today, our tribal chief and head of the table has been Universal Champion for 735 days
Sheesh.
today.
It's a long title reign in the modern age.
August-
Acknowledge your tribal
Since
chief.
August
Knowledge.
30th, 2020.
Jeez.
Wow.
You don't see reigns like that anymore,
You don't.
except from Roman Reigns.
That's right.
Everybody put up the one finger in the chat. I know you can't put up the appropriate finger for
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
chat,
yeah.
but put up the one.
No,
finger,
it's a
please.
bikini, Bethany. This one isn't lingerie. That's something we're going to have to work on later. I cannot
Yeah,
believe
no,
I just
this
said
is
that.
a bikini.
Great. All right, let's get into it, Max.
All right,
I'm going to
it
beat
is
you this week.
birthday
My week.
time.
My week.
Not gonna beat me.
I don't know, it is his birthday. He beat you last week.
That doesn't count on the list.
It counts.
All right, first up,
Hey!
Xavier Woods, formerly known
yes, his
as
birthday was yesterday.
Consequences
Formerly known as
Creed.
Consequences Creed, or Austin Creed.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna guess that Xavier Woods on his birthday would have today. You said
Yesterday.
yesterday would have turned 36.
37, because I think he's older.
36 years old.
Damn. Yes.
That's right. Up, up, down, down. Not a
Man,
sponsor.
he would have been 20 years old or 19 years old in this TNA run.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Then today, who's up next?
This looks like
I think
Sin
Sin
Cara
Cara.
and another masked superstar.
No, let's.
Those are both Sin Cara.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that good Sin Cara or bad Sin Cara?
That is.
Because there are two different Sin Caras.
That is
It's
Hunico.
Hunico, okay. Hunico's up there, 44
45.
45
on the button.
today. And
I
will
like
tell you-
Hunico.
Happy birthday, Hunico.
Yeah, I've got the picture.
There's a
We'll say
finger. See?
Thank you.
it.
You like all them fingers, don't you? All right.
Braun Strowman.
Hey!
Monday Night Raw tonight.
Huh?
That was my
That's
other
me.
point.
Braun Strowman, the man who just showed up tonight.
That's right.
I'm going to say Braun's 36 years old.
37.
Braun Strowman will be 39 tomorrow.
39, damn. Look, you're kicking my ass.
Acknowledge your tribal chief. Sorry.
You are not the top chief of this thing.
And then on the 8th, we have
What about Raven?
Wow, Raven.
My absolute favorite wrestler from
That was
ECW.
pre or post drug Raven, depending on who you're talking
That was
to.
probably during Drug Raven.
I'm gonna say Raven's up there. He was in the
Yeah.
80s in WWE.
Yeah, he's gotta
Johnny
be
Polo.
56.
I'm gonna say 52.
Hey, well, good point. He will be 58
58.
years old.
He's got a he used to have a podcast
Ah,
too.
what
It's really
about
weird.
Raven?
Two more wrestling
Who's better
birthdays.
than Canyon?
Everybody.
What about Raven?
Not him.
We're going to go to September 9th.
Brian Pillman Jr.
That's right. Look how much he looks like his daddy.
Does
He
look like
does.
his
He looks
daddy.
a lot like his daddy.
I
35 years old.
want to say a little younger. 31 is what I'm going to guess.
No point. He will be 29.
Wow. Good for him.
Our last wrestling birthday.
The Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
First off, half of Matt Morgan is missing from this photo if you've seen him
That
lately.
dude's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
He's an
I
insurance
wanted
salesman.
a picture of his arm span. He has like a legitimate 7-foot
Yeah.
arm span.
Yeah.
He was one of Kevin Nash's not pupils, but he took Kevin Nash took him under his wing in TNA and really taught him to find the blueprint of being a big man.
44.
45.
He will be 46 years old.
Thank you very much. Yes, John, we've got Raw playing in the background, as a matter of fact.
Kevin Owens and Theory getting into it right now.
Next, all right, we're going to go into our celebrity birthday.
All right, what's our
Celebrity
score
birthdays.
so far?
So we're going to go back to the
Should be 4 to 2,
I'm
I
sorry,
think.
it's 3-2.
3 to 2.
3-2.
Okay.
Me?
You.
We're going to go back to the fourth.
That's Beyonce.
That's Beyonce Knowles.
Beyonce.
That's all kinds of Beyonce.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Jay-Z did.
Yeah, he
Because he
did.
liked it.
Where did he go?
Man,
Um,
that's hard because I want to say she's older than we might think she is.
42.
43. Just
No point. She will be 41.
41. Wow.
He's close. I'm
We
drinking
have
this
another
milk.
one on the fourth.
David
David
Wayans.
Wayans.
Blank man himself.
One of my favorite TV
David
shows was,
Wayans.
what was it? My Wife and Kids, right? Yeah.
Canceled in the height of its popularity, just like the George Lopez show.
Yep. Both shows were the starring run in Nick at Night for like
Also, if you
2002
really
to
think back
2000.
of Damon Wayans, how about Bulletproof?
Bulletproof.
Him and Adam Sandler.
Yep.
Hilarious.
So good.
Damon Wayans is a lot older than you think he is.
51.
I'm going to go with 53.
That's a good call, but he will be 62.
Damn. You know what they say?
That one for me.
Money don't crack.
That's also
And
true.
on the fifth, who is that ugly son of a bitch there? Oh, yeah, that's Caleb. I'm sorry. Caleb has a birthday today.
I do indeed.
Look at that. That's sex on a page right there.
That's right, ladies. You can get my face put on your bikini.
Are we going to
Right.
guess
That's right.
what Caleb is?
How old am I, Max? Go ahead and guess.
Caleb is all of going on 37 years old.
I don't remember you said that, you old motherfucker.
42 and a half.
Fuck you, I'm 39 years old and get shit wrong all the time. Age is coming, buddy.
Caleb is 32 years of age today.
His brother's 32 as well.
Yeah, weird how that worked out, huh? Also, a special shout out to my niece whose 10th birthday is today, and my nephew whose 18th birthday is today.
Happy
Before
birthday
you
to both.
switch that, John, Caleb, who do you share a birthday with? I had lots of people, but and no, I'm not talking about your brother.
Is it Freddie,
Who's the big
is it
one?
Freddie Mercury?
No,
No?
maybe, but who's the big one? I always have me tagged with.
Fuck, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, John, who is it?
Oh, shit, how did I not remember that? It is Michael Keaton's birthday.
Their birthday with Michael.
That's right. I share a birthday with Batman.
It's bad. Okay, sorry.
Batman.
Michael Keaton is as old as he fucking wants to be.
I could have sworn the
Michael
5th was
Keaton-
Freddie Mercury's birthday, too. Hold on.
Uh,
He died.
I know it's Dave Dunn. Michael Keaton, 50.
Nope. September 5th is also Freddie Mercury's birthday. How dare you
Is
not?
it? Okay.
How dare you not include that in the
He
celebrity
wasn't,
wing?
he wasn't on the list I went through.
Wow.
57.
58.
Michael Keaton will be 71 years old.
I still take
He
it.
still looks good.
He's still also Batman.
Like Caleb.
We have
Legitimate.
one more birthday for September that's very important to mention.
Who's
Mama.
Yes,
Yes,
Mom's
Mom's birthday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Mom will be as old as Mom says she is, and no one gets to
Right.
argue with her about it.
Exactly.
That's right.
She's baptized.
Let's see, who do we have? Who do we have on the 6th, John?
Ooh!
Idris
Idris
Elba.
Elba. One of the best actors of his age.
Should be James Bond.
Should be James Bond. Was great in American Gangster with Denzel Washington.
He's older. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess 48.
44.
How about 50 years old?
50 years old. Well, for me, also has a foot fetish.
He can do that.
Yeah.
3, and we
I don't know why I
have about 4 left.
All right, let's hit it.
Also on the 6th,
Jeff Foxworthy.
Wow. Way
One of
older than
the-
you think.
One of the blue collar comedy
King of
tour.
He might be a redneck
Yeah.
if.
Him, Bill Engvall, Ron White, and Larry the Cable Guy. We're all in that was the heyday back in the 2000s. They were the funniest comics on the market.
It was the white version of the Kings of Comedy.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's exactly
Yeah.
what it was. 63.
58.
He will be 64 years old.
That's right, he will.
They just actually played in Detroit 2 days.
Yes, he
later.
did.
Luke's lead with 3 left on the 8th.
Okay.
We will have
David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Nice.
The greatest WCW heavyweight
Do
champion
not-
of all
Don't
time.
you start in my fucking house
David?
on my birthday. Don't you start.
Holy shit.
Don't you
Arquette.
don't you start with me. Also was the star of the movie that we're going to be referencing in our dropped content, Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, that was a coincidence.
No, that's perfect.
Actually, but
Also starred of the Scream franchise. Rest in peace, Dewey.
56.
57.
David Arquette will be an even 50 years old.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Well, we have 2 left.
All right.
I'm in the lead by one.
For all the
Right?
ducats.
4, yes. Luke
Oh,
tonight. Yep.
would like to shout out the rest of my nominees, who will forever be known as the guys who lost to fucking Adam Sandler. One of my favorite quotes. Timeless comic.
Yeah.
Star of literally dozens of hilarious
Huge
quotes.
wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Huge wrestling fan.
My brothers Adrian and Cassius told me my mother was a billy goat, which explains my chronic halitosis.
It's terrible.
It's one of my favorite Little Nicky quotes. Look it up.
54.
55.
He will be
Old.
56 years old
No.
and tied up with 1.
All right, we got one left. Big Daddy. Michael Bublé. Bublé.
He has a really awesome rendition of Spider-Man, by the way.
Why?
I've heard it. You should find it.
Why in the world?
Mama said
In
Nick
the
Saban is the
entire discography of Michael Bublé's Christmas songs alone, Nick Saban's the devil. Would you have chosen the Spider-Man cover as your Michael Bublé lead off?
Because it is freaking amazing. If you haven't heard
First of all, he may have sang Home first, but we all know Blake Shelton sings Home.
I don't know, man. I kind of like
Don't you
this.
fucking come in my house. Don't you come at me with your bullshit today.
How can you speak?
Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? All right,
What do you think?
Michael Bublé. I don't know, 42.
43.
He will be 47 years old.
Tyson Fury, bitch.
You want a piece of me, Bob Barker? I want the whole fucking thing.
Tyson Fury,
Okay.
Bobby.
And is
Okay,
it,
you're gonna get it, Bobby.
wait, what time is it now?
8:17.
Bullshit time.
Oh,
Oh,
here
you,
comes.
you did get my, there's supposed to be a bullshit picture in there for it.
Oh no.
That's
The whole
okay,
show's
but we're gonna
canceled.
start out with I got a couple things
I'll
from
pull an
All right.
motherfucker.
This is straight out of Japan. You can get your food served to you by a robot.
Did nobody watch The Terminator?
That's what this is. I don't know how visible it really is.
Did nobody watch iRobot?
Now here's the cool thing though.
Did nobody watch The Matrix?
Here's the cool thing why I chose this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Those robots are being controlled by people with disabilities that can't otherwise perform physical jobs.
Okay.
So they are sitting at home,
Yeah, you
maybe
feel.
laying in bed or something, and they can control these robots
Surrogates.
from home. Yeah.
The movie
Okay.
Surrogates.
Yeah.
Nobody watched Surrogates. Okay, that's cool.
I thought
That is very
really,
cool.
really cool.
I rescind my comments about robots taking
Until
over the
they
world.
decide they want to start robbing banks because they can't be killed with bullets.
Yes.
Did nobody,
Just saying.
did nobody
So
watch
there-
any sci-fi movie ever made?
There's some pretty cool things coming out of Japan, but this next one is not so
One of them?
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
They are now making actual muscle shirts.
Oh, I've seen those
Is
before.
what this is. They pads
Yeah.
for your muscles. You just pretend to be a big muscly guy, and then she takes her shirt off and she's like, "What's that crap?"
Well, that's why you leave the shirt on.
Well, it's fair. I mean, she takes
I mean,
off
come
her
on.
hair, her fingernails, and her eyebrows.
Oh, for
You know,
heaven's
you haven't watched it.
Once.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Next
Trickery
up,
on both sides is all I'm
You're
saying.
not getting me drug into this.
that's what's out of Japan.
I got a brand.
But
Yeah. My brand is my face and bikini crotches. That's my
Yeah,
brand.
That's my brand.
so that,
It's working.
As long as it sells.
Damn right.
That's out of Japan, but out of Iowa, they plan to open their 50-year time capsule,
Okay.
Okay.
but they couldn't find it. Somehow, in this town of... I'm trying to pull this up right
Make-believe?
If you can't read that, don't feel bad, because neither can we. Max is totally controlling all of this situation right now.
Well, I can't control how big that picture is on there.
He controls a lot of things on how big they are.
Thank you.
Hold it, Dave!
Not the size of that.
Oh, it's becoming of me.
No, I lost it. I can't find it. There. But no, the small town that they lost.
They lost the time capsule.
Time capsule.
It's
They think they know where it's buried, but nobody's quite sure. Somehow in this 150-year span,
Are you saying it was
forgot where it was.
lost to time?
Then what do we
Sometimes I
have
really
next?
regret my shirt choice.
You and me both, pal.
All right, next here we have this guy was out fishing. This is off the coast of Belize,
Okay.
and he caught a Greenland shark.
Okay.
Got caught on his pole, and it wound up snapping it in half. It's like a 7. Well, I think it was a 7-foot shark, weighing like 700 pounds or something.
Uh-huh.
Now the crazy thing about this, why I picked this Greenland shark is normally found about 7,000 feet below sea level in the Antarctic oceans.
Wow.
And this was in Greenland?
This, yes, off the coast of Belize.
Okay.
No, it's a Greenland shark.
Greenland shark, sorry. Wow.
Yeah. Now this.
Well, look at the clips,
Bring
bro.
up this.
What's
next
up, bro?
one here. This on the left is an actual shark. I don't know if it's the actual shark that it was, but it's the shark, that kind of shark.
Okay.
And on the right is the shark from Jaws.
Wow. Did you know that Bruce was the name of the shark from Jaws and that it was lost? The original animatronic, and they only recovered it like 7 years ago.
I did know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. To
So that
think
would be the model that they
Yeah.
use, the Greenland shark.
Wow.
That's that
Even though the story is that he's
100
very white.
Dude, the real one looks more terrifying than Jaws.
Yeah, I would.
Right?
That's why you don't just go willy-nilly into the ocean.
Or around Belize. I
Next.
realize.
I believe
Better
it.
Belize it.
So I come across this story here. This bison that was
Yeah, that ain't no joke, Bethany.
here it is. In 1979, researchers unearthed this mummified body of a 55,000-year-old bison.
Okay.
And then they sliced off a piece of it to try it.
Okay, one more time. One more time. Tell that
They,
again.
they sliced off a piece of it to eat it.
I'm just going to say this.
Salute clip shots. Bro!
The scientists who did that are 1,000% white.
Also,
Because
this, I don't
only
know.
a white person would have done that.
I don't know if people understand this, but that's where the T virus comes from.
You don't just eat things that you find in the wild.
Where did you find that cookie? I found it on the floor. Yeah,
There is
no.
there is no 10-second rule with a half-frozen Ice Age bison.
Well, it's definitely way past 10 seconds. Way past 10 seconds. Max knows. He was there. He's lonely.
Once the foul taste was smothered. In what?
Right?
Ketchup? You dip the ancient bison in ketchup, you white bastard?
Mayonnaise. You can ranch.
Now,
Oh, it's definitely ranch. It was some big Western brick from Ohio.
I'm sure there's more to that story, but I prefer just the headlines.
We'll just leave that one to y'all's imagination.
Now, next thing we're going to do is I came across this. I
Okay.
came across a bunch of random subway photos.
Who got this
Hang on,
picture of
hang on,
Caleb
hang
from
on.
last Saturday
Hang
night?
on. I came across a bunch of random subway photos. So what we're going to do, there's no headlines to these, there's no captions. I want you guys to come up with the captions. And
Okay,
headlines
Caleb,
to
you
these.
first.
Person experiences worst day of their fucking life, ... and then drops pizza. She's asleep on the subway. She probably had a long day. She just got fired. All right, she came from her aunt's funeral. She gets a pizza and she's going to go home. It's the last fucking good thing in her life. And then she falls asleep and drops it. And here you assholes are mocking her on the internet.
Wait a minute.
How dare you?
I got a better headline. Ready for that?
Go ahead.
Dear customers, Domino's now has pizza insurance. That's better insurance than I've ever
Better
seen.
pizza, better bitches, better money, my shoes, better my clothes, better fuck Little Caesars. I love that TikTok. Yeah, that poor woman. I feel so bad. I just want to get her a new pizza. But also,
Please throw Mama from the train.
But also, who the hell is still ordering DiMaggio's? We're motherfuckers went out of business.
All right, we got three more.
Okay, first off, before we get into the next one, let's see what it is. Before we get into the next one, though, that pizza was still on top of something underneath it, so it didn't touch the ground. That pizza's still good, bitch. Put it out in your pocket.
It's not off of a New York
It
subway, you
wasn't touching
know.
the ground.
Sleep there. And so do homeless people.
First off, how the fuck do you think the Ninja Turtles get
You're the kind of person who ate that bison.
It's a paper sleeve. It's
No,
good. It's good.
I would have never ate bison without ranch.
All right. What's next here?
Okay, first off, before you even continue, some serious shit went down on this subway.
Whatever's about to happen, you want to move out the way. Because it really doesn't matter. Superman's going to come busting through that bitch like, I'm here to save the day. Motherfucker, you just killed 9 people.
Well, Batman's safe. His mom's name's Martha.
However, nobody ever brought up the fact that Darth Vader and Batman have one very significant thing in common.
Okay, headlines? You want headlines?
They're
Here's
both
one.
orphans. Orphans fight on Subway.
Batman to Darth Vader. That bitch's pizza's mine.
It's the same Subway.
That's terrible.
Oh, okay. So I think
Is Annie okay in that though? It's been very.
I don't think so. All right, 2 more.
Are you okay? Go ahead, Max. What is with all the Subway pictures?
That's what these are. These are all random.
No, I get it. That is
in the blue.
Anakin Murphy holding a plunger.
No,
Exactly.
No.
Have you ever been on the subway and you just can't find something to hold on to? Take your plunger with you.
Oh, that's a plunger. Okay.
Okay. Now I get the need for public transportation. I totally get that. And I get the need for stability. But what jagoff taking the New York I-9 to his job just so happened to carry a plunger with him?
Maybe they're a plumber.
I got this. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
I got this. When you're on the train and they give you a shitty place to sit, bring your plunger.
It's like a commercial for IBS. New pandemic, speculation.
I think the lady forgot her umbrella. I think that's what the problem was.
You don't walk out in the rain thinking you're holding an umbrella with a plunger in your hand. Like, oh no,
Shit happened.
forgot my Red Bull. Let's see how it works.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Well, plug it up, maybe. Stop taking it. Stop eating so much cheese. You won't have to carry a plunger with you, lady.
All right, last one.
That was a scene from the new Mario Brothers movie. What in blue fuck is that?
That is one of those mini Steve Urkel cars that
Okay.
can hold onto the subway. Just
They-
pull right into the.
You use transportation.
I believe there's a person sitting in it still. Yeah, they just.
You use transportation
So
to
that
get on the transportation.
Maybe it's like the Italian job, and they just couldn't beat the train.
is that how they get there so fast? Here's the deal. I have
And
never.
you know that dickhead just parked in a handicap spot.
Oh, you know it. 100%. 100%. As a matter of fact,
Engine's still running.
that lady with the pizza wasn't asleep.
And
She
she's
was
startled.
startled.
Fumes.
She was startled.
Not okay. Not okay.
That's Alfred waiting on Batman.
Your car's ready, sir. Well, yeah, Alfred, I know. Get him off the fucking train. Superman's going to be here in 8 minutes.
That's definitely what you would call free
You
parking.
know, that was kind of.
I know meters are getting ridiculous these days, but come on, man.
Yeah,
Leave the
right?
car at home. Take a cab.
I got one more story to cover
All right?
before I close everything up. This is the Nebraska man paddled 38 miles in a hollowed out pumpkin that he grew himself, setting a world record.
See how easy it is to set world records?
The last guy only went 37.5 miles in his pumpkin. Now, I don't know if that's true.
So somebody literally sat around and was like, I can do 38.
Who was the first guy?
That's
Who was the
honestly,
first?
He don't hold the record anymore.
I am
Which-
gonna look up that story.
Which
for
white
myself.
farmer from Maine was like, I could totally make this trip in a pumpkin?
No, Nebraska.
No, I understand that. This man's from Nebraska. My point is, it's definitely something a white person. Kevin Owens just beat
Austin Theory.
Alright, that is all the bullshit that I have for today.
Somebody needs to get that man a kayak. John Wagner, back on the board. That was excellent, sir.
Hey, you were on time this week, too.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us. We're still early.
Yeah.
We're normally our shows run about 2 hours. If you want to...
Well, you're supposed to talk about the discussion point.
Yes! I had a discussion that I thought of last week, but before we get to that, make sure that if you're in the live stream right now, number one, subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't already. We appreciate the support. And if you subscribe, you can comment in the chat here. You can be interactive and joke along with us.
Also, don't forget to like.
Please like it as well. Every like and every subscription definitely helps us grow. Find us over at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown. What? You can also check out streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our ever-popular merch. In the merch store, you will find notebooks, you will find stickers, you'll find yoga pants. We've got all sorts of anagram stuff.
You'll find merchandise.
We just rolled out some beer koozies. And also, for a limited time only, you get the special edition Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini, which has both of our faces on the top, my face on the bottom. You're welcome, America. Every purchase you make, every dollar you spend, gets your name entered into the drawing for the end of the month. Every donation that you make, every dollar gets your name entered in the drawing at the month. We do a drawing at the end of every month for a specific item. We're going to be doing the drawing for August next week, which is a coffee cup.
Yes.
That item will also come with a certificate of authenticity that is autographed by all of us here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown, so we don't actually do it on the item, but you've got a piece that says, hey, Will, you can personalize it. Thank you so much for your purchase.
Yes.
We've had some people picked up magnets already. We've already sold a couple bikinis, believe it or not. So please check it out if you want some merch, you want to support the channel. Every dollar we make goes back into the show for...
Does Mom get a bikini?
Don't
Talk about
Don't
balls
you
like that.
fucking start.
No, we'll
It's bath time.
have new items pop up every now and then. Also, don't forget that our programming is going to change this week.
Yes, so from now on, we're going to be dropping midweek content that are going to be canned videos that we record after the live stream or before, whenever we decide to do it. They will drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This week, since we're doing the live show here on Monday, it's going to drop on Wednesday and Friday. We're going to have a special phrase that we say in both videos. It's going to be the same phrase. If you can figure out what that phrase is by watching both videos, if you like both videos and comment the full phrase below, your name gets entered into the drawing with 10 entries. If you share those videos after you do all that, I'll throw in an extra 5 names to the drawing just for sharing our content. This week it is a quote from Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a great movie made about professional wrestling back in the early 2000s, starring David Arquette,
Oliver Platt,
Scott Conn. Yeah. Also has Diamond Dallas Page smattering about
Sting,
the
Goldberg,
WCW
numerous
superstars. Yeah.
Also, don't forget that Sundays will not change.
Nope.
Uh,
Sundays will be the same until next month when we're going to have to do some different scheduling because my schedule is going to be nuts.
But as
because of
far
Evil
as
Dead
there
and Rocky
will be at least one live,
yes, one live
something, you will
episode
have
every week.
something every week.
Absolutely.
Sundays are the main
Linus is still sitting in that pumpkin patch waiting for that guy to get there.
Yeah, 100%.
Excellent work, Bethany.
We're still gonna have the live broadcast for the live comments,
Yep.
chats, and everything.
Yep.
If there's something that you like in these videos, these canned videos that will take place 7:15 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, please comment. Please leave a comment. Please like them so we know what content that you like, what content that you don't like.
Yeah, it's going to be wrestling stuff. There's going to be some fun conversations. This week, for instance, we cast Lord of the Rings, but using only Attitude Era Wrestling superstars. We talk about, celebrities transitioning over to wrestling, which ones we think could work.
The
That's just
celebrities
this week.
video will drop
Wednesday, and then the Lord of the Rings video is going to drop Friday.
Yes.
And then we'll also include breaking news that happens over the week, so if something pops off on Tuesday, we can cover that on Wednesday as well. Oh, no, actually, because we're canning groups. Never mind. Forget everything I just said, forget it.
Watch for TikTok, social media for updates if anything big takes place.
Yes, please. So I had, that all being covered, I had a thought last week. We were going to talk about it but we just didn't have the time to do it. But since we got some time to fill today,
Let's do it.
with Triple H changing the landscape of the WWE right now and bringing back so many stars, for instance, the returning Braun Strowman we've already seen, Hit Row coming back. Who else came back in the last couple of weeks? Bailey coming back with Io Sky, Dakota Kai.
Loomis.
Dexter Loomis coming back. So
Gargano.
Johnny Gargano. Triple H reaching out to a number of former stars that they hired at that weren't there when they hired a specific superstar. That superstar being Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes is out on injury.
Yes.
But we all know that Vince had a plan to push Cody to the moon. So the question I wanted to proffer to the group here today is, what does Cody Rhodes' return look like under a Triple H regime, especially with all these other stars being brought back?
I believe that it will no longer be set. Hold on just a
Hey,
second.
John, we're
get to that.
gonna do the 5 questions at the end of the show, so save them, keep them ready, and then we'll let you field them there, buddy.
I think Seth Rollins is out. I think Randy Orton's in. And I think that's what Triple H will book for that title match. Will be Orton and.
So you don't think this new influx of stars is going to hurt Cody Rhodes?
Not at all.
When he returns?
We need new stars.
Yeah.
More.
Well, there's a better field now for Roman, especially with Braun coming back.
Yes.
A better field for Drew. Some of the bigger guys. We currently have 34 people in watching. So thank you, everybody who's tuning in. That's huge. I think that when Cody returns, we're going to see a much more competitive field with the likes of the guys that we've already established.
Yeah.
But it's also going to help thin out that competition in other areas. Roman won't only have to focus on 1 or 2 guys to get over, won't have to focus on 1 or 2 guys, because really, this whole last year, Roman's only had a few opponents that were viable, believable, and bankable.
Right.
With Cody Rhodes returning, though, in this new field, we're going to see a lot more interesting matchups being possible. Cody Rhodes and Dexter Loomis, for instance.
Cody Rhodes carrying Cross.
Oh, Carrie, that was the name I was trying to remember.
Gargano, I
And
think,
Cody,
and
yeah.
Rhodes would be great. Also, you have to look into the people who are now jumping ship
Yeah.
and leaving AEW.
Aleister Black possibly
Aleister
returning.
Black.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Give me Aleister Black and Killer Cross.
Yes, please.
But anyway, when we talk about Cody Rhodes, though, here's the deal. When the belts come off of Roman, you're going to need as many viable opponents for Cody Rhodes on his way back to the top, because I don't think they're going to drop the title push.
No, I don't know.
I think, honestly, I don't think they can. I think that has something to do with that.
Yeah.
Stuff way above my pay grade.
Exactly. His contract negotiations. and everything.
But I do believe in the fact that I do believe he'll be pushed, and here's the deal. Now you're getting a bunch of guys that also Cody has worked elsewhere.
Yeah.
He knows how to work these
We
guys.
can open up that
elsewhere.
competitive field to get WWE rematches in the WWE.
Yeah. For bigger, more
Bigger
more
crowds, more
payday.
money, bigger payday. Aleister Black and Cody can run it back one more time if Aleister decides to cross back over.
Well, here's
of course,
the thing, you
Aleister
can bring
Black's
the
also
Fiend
talking
back.
about taking time off.
Yes. Well, his mental health.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Kevin Nash also told Ole Anderson in WCW that the wrestling gig wasn't for him and he was going to become a bouncer again. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that this
That's
isn't
true.
Malachi's out?
Out. Yeah.
Kurt Angle told WWE he would never wrestle again.
And then showed up at Impact a month later.
You know, it's one of those things. It's a loophole. Tony Khan is such a big fan and he wants to be liked by everybody. He's going to believe anything at face value.
Well, and also his waning popularity, especially. Remember, a lot of this drama started when Cody left and they signed Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the big transition that we're seeing. And Rhodes,
Also, then the releases of a lot of the core guys, a lot of the Dark Order were there from the beginning are gone now.
yeah.
A lot of the mainstays in AEW that built this company from the ground up are gone now.
I'm hoping Edge's contract lasts long enough to get one match out of Edge and Cody. Doesn't have to be a long program. Just give me one solid,
I wanna see
really
Edge and
good
Christian.
wrestling match. Well,
And
Edge,
I don't think Christian signed for as long as many people think he did.
Or Edge's contract could come due. He could take a crossover to TBS.
Well, Edge, last week when they were in Canada on Raw, after the camera went off, told the crowd next August, when we're back here in Canada, I will retire in this building.
Well, there you go.
And Edge, has never given a reason to not take him at face value.
Yeah, I agree.
He's somebody who realizes, I have a limited window to be able to get over
Let's
the
get
people I
everything we
need to
can.
get over. Let's get it over in a year, and then we'll talk about a Legends deal.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. Tony Khan, first off, Punk don't want to work with Edge. He don't want somebody else coming in that can
True.
take that money from him.
True.
Edge don't want to work Punk, because why? Why
Yeah.
would Edge need to validate himself to wrestle
Well,
Punk?
the other argument there, though, is you could get one last Hardys and Edge and Christian match.
Would be but it'd be a one-off.
But still,
Yeah, you're
but
one-off.
worth the pay-per-view, worth the buy.
But yeah, I don't think we see Edge leave. I think when Edge retires, Shawn Michaels and Triple H have a nice, cozy
Job
little
waiting for
office
Ed.
job for
or
him.
running shows or running NXT or something like that.
100%.
Still can't believe they fired Jarrett.
Also, you're making him an ambassador for Canada.
Yeah.
Anytime you do stuff like they did Trish
Trish Stratus, anytime you're in Canada, Edge is on the show.
Boom.
That makes sense to me. Cody Rhodes' return's imminent, boys.
It is, and I cannot wait.
Until he wins the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
That's where all my money's going. This
If
this
it's
year.
not Cody Rhodes, mark my words right now, it'll be The Rock.
Yeah, I can
If
see
it's not
that.
Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble,
Hey,
it'll
we're
be The
back
Rock.
up to 33. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Welcome.
That means the world to us. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're winding down here to near the end of the show. One of our shorter shows this time around. But go ahead and prepare 5 questions, or since there are plenty of you, if you have extra, since we've got time,
We'll answer questions.
We'll answer questions up until 9 o'clock if they're coming in. If we're not getting any up until 9, we'll vamp for a little bit and then we'll throw it to finish. That work for you guys? 20-minute window. So you got 20 minutes to ask us a question about wrestling, ask us a question about our wrestling careers, their wrestling careers, our favorite wrestlers, what we like, what we don't like. Go ham. For the next 20 minutes, the floor is yours. While we're doing that, just once again, make sure to check out the social medias. Find us over. We're not going to do the whole merch spiel this time, but check us out over at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our merch store, where it's got all of our cool stuff. Make sure you're looking out for the extra content videos we're going to be dropping this week.
Make sure to look for the phrase.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a really good question. How did Pro Wrestling Throwdown come to be? Luke and I had talked forever about starting a podcast. We talked about it forever, endlessly, but we never got off the ball until one day Luke called me and goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing. What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm coming to your house with my laptop." And he basically came in and said, "We just need to do this. We need to do it for us and just do it." So we planned the very first episode, just the two of us in the back bedroom where the studio used to be. And
Actually, there was 3 of us.
Well, no.
Me,
We started it with just us.
no, me, you, and
Oh,
Colette.
yeah, Coletta was there, and she, but as far as the hosts of the show, yeah,
Why did he make that call again?
because of you. And then we brought Max on shortly after. We didn't do many episodes without Max.
No.
Once he came back around, got him involved. And then Big Bad John, our most recent addition, and the guy who's responsible. When you guys watch our old videos, it was just us sitting in front of a camera. We didn't do any extra work. We didn't edit anything. We had bloopers and shit that we would post, but nothing hardcore. John literally stepped in and was like, "I can do all of this stuff." And here we are. Now we've got the slides, we've got the intro music, we've got the graphics we can play.
We can now speak to you.
Yeah, we've got this awesome background and the side chats and everything. That John did all of that. But yeah, so that was basically it. It's a passion. It's a project of passion that because we love wrestling, but we weren't actively involved in the wrestling business. But if you get us all in the same room, we're hilarious sometimes. And we make each other laugh, and we tell stories, and we get rowdy and crazy. And it's really just an excuse for them to show up at my house while I drink, honestly. It's not even...
Sometimes we drink, too.
Sometimes. Huh? Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Which one of the wrestling franchises is your favorite?
Right now, the WWE.
Right now...
Or, I mean, it's hard for me not to say Impact, too, but we don't
Dude,
talk about them
To
nearly
be
enough.
honest with you, if we're talking the main core WWE, if we're talking TV, honestly, my favorite franchise right now is NXT Level Up. There's no
Really,
belts, there's no
really good.
promos, it's just straight up wrestling like it
Yeah.
was used to be on Saturday mornings. And
Man.
there's nobody on there you know.
Yeah, it's
Like,
all...
it's all building from the ground up. I love it. It shows you everything.
It's all exhibition style.
Just wrestlers wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just boys putting the boots on and going to work.
Trying
The
to
way we
step
like it.
that way up to NXT and eventually the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of fun to watch. If you have Hulu, it is a Hulu exclusive for streaming rights. I do believe that it's on Friday nights on some channel. I'm not really sure what channel. But
Oh, boy. In honor of Caleb's birthday, what is your favorite memory with Caleb? I'm going to mind the both of you that there are certain things you're not allowed to say on a live YouTube
I don't
stream.
know if there's
Stop
something
it.
I can. I don't know if there's a lot I can say. There's a lot of them. Weird. Your name is Birdman Drug Stories, and you say weird.
You also, well, look, you know, that's fine. That's an opinion to have. And we appreciate you tuning in and giving it. But also, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. We fully support everyone to have opinions, especially shitty ones like yours. No, what we do is weird, but you know what? We have fun doing it. So if you don't like it, there are two things you can do about it. That's nothing. I like it. How about that, Pally? No, I'm just fucking with you, Birdman. We appreciate your comment, pal.
Yeah. No, my favorite. Let's see. Favorite moment. Tag team match, Grand Chain. And it was fun. It was off the
Undefeated
cuff.
tag team, by the way.
Yes. The crowd was into it, and it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to say that's probably one that sticks out in my mind that I can actually
That you can talk about, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Max.
Lots of favorites. Things that stick out the most. I'm going to go not wrestling related.
Way back.
You
Watch it.
remember this. There's actually a series of memories. Me and Caleb once spent an entire summer climbing in and out of my car through the windows
Like Dukes of Hazzard.
like NASCAR drivers. I literally crawl out.
Just like
I
Winnie
would
the
open
Pooh.
the door, roll up my window, then close it. I would open my door,
Yeah.
roll the window down, close it, climb in. For an entire summer, we did that.
Yep.
Have lots of fun memories like that. We've been friends for far
Too long. Far too long. We've all collectively been friends now for 17 years. I think Max and I are coming up on 18 because we were friends at least a couple years before we met, but it wasn't long. But we've all been. I mean, we've been thick as thieves for 20 years, man. You don't make memory. You don't spend enough time with people like that and not make memories.
Me and
Right.
you met in like
2005. No,
2006.
no, it was 2005 because I turned 15 in Carterville. So my freshman year, 2005.
My junior year.
Yeah, my freshman year. Max was the first kid who talked to me. I told that story a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And then Luke and I met outside of a wrestling show at April Blood Showers.
Officially.
We were friends on MySpace, for those of you who are old enough to remember.
There's on Caleb's birthday post on the Pro Wrestling Throwdown Facebook page. There's a series of pictures on there, and there's one of them that's actually me and Caleb, 2008.
When we were
in the old
babies. We built a wrestling ring that we wrestled in forever, and then we broke in, started working real shows, and it's been a wild ride, man.
All right, we got some more questions.
All right, Big John. Okay, first, I've been thinking that now that MJF is back, I wonder if it might lead to unifying of the titles with a match against Wardlow. Well, he's not a former TNT champion, or he's not a current TNT champion, so they can't unify the match with MJF. Big Bad John, we still got to do our kiss at the end. Don't forget, we promised the people. Yeah, John, we had times at Club Ice. That was a teen club opened in my town that I lied about to get into so I could hang out with older girls, so it worked out great. Again, we're not going to say anything that's going to get him in trouble. But yeah. But yeah, they can't unify the belts with MJF because he's not a champion right now, John.
Also true. I believe winning that big
Now, he
kiss
can get a
is
rematch.
is a question.
Oh, it's coming. It'll be the end of the show. End of the show. We'll send the people home happy.
Yeah, that's
All right, guys, we got 12 more minutes to field questions here, so feel free.
Yeah,
Fire away.
also, right now, live on Monday Night Raw, we've got Bailey's kids in the ring. Bailey's kids being Bailey,
Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
and Dakota Kai.
Hashtag Bailey's kids.
Also, if you don't know what that references to, it's a movie called Bebe's Kids. It was an animated movie in the 90s. One of the best, just worst animated movies ever. Loved it growing up. Please check it out.
Sorry, I don't buy the name Damage Control. I just don't like it.
No, yeah. They're Bailey's kids. They don't die, they multiply.
Just like Michael Keaton.
Mike,
See how I swung it back around with
Batman Keaton.
multiplicity?
That's right.
See how I did that?
Multiplicity.
What we got, folks? We got any more questions?
Come on, y'all. 12 minutes. Clock's ticking. We got dead air right now.
Who is your favorite professional wrestler to meet in real life?
Who was my favorite wrestler to meet in real life? Rosie. Bar none, Rosie. Yeah, Ricky Morton was great.
Morton was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
He's
Ricky
up
Morton
there.
was definitely cool.
Schlack was pretty cool.
Slack's all right.
Matt Cross was cool.
Matt Cross, Billy Gunn was really cool to meet.
Axel Rotten was a gentleman.
Yeah. Big Bull Payne. He was cool as shit.
Friend of our podcast, Big Bull Bronson.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have Big Bull on the show.
I wrestled for Jerry Lawler. Honky Tonk Man, met him, met Flair, met Jake Roberts.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
My
Rob Van Dam,
favorite,
Tommy
though,
Dreamer, Teddy
actually,
Long.
you know what? My favorite person I've ever met in the wrestling business, Uncle Terry.
Yeah.
Uncle Tracy, sorry.
Tracy Smothers.
Uncle Tracy.
Coolest dude in the room.
Tracy Smothers was a god among men.
Yes, he was. Yeah, John, we did a little wrestling back then. Yes, Bethany, I gave you a hug the first show we ever met. You did great. We did a stage read at the stage company.
Gave her a hug in the dressing room, huh?
Shut. See what you brought that on yourself.
See? I'm telling you, if you just buy the bikini, I'll never say another word. I'm shilling, you leave me alone.
The problem is I can't argue with it.
Right?
Got me back to the recorder, boss.
Wear Caleb close to your skin. It's fantastic.
So it's a
Just sounds
popular
wrong.
place, I guess. All right. John says, me, you went together in April's Blood Showers where you met Luke. Yes, we did. That's true. John was there.
Yep.
We went together. Best current wrestler on the mic, MJF, bar none. Hands down. MJF. All day. Every day. Nope. Answer's MJF or you're wrong.
I don't know. MJF for sure, but Pat McAfee has.
Pat McAfee is up there.
He's definitely up there.
But MJF is the GOAT. The GOAT, baby. Oh. Bethany shares a story about her mom when she was going through cancer treatments. We related to that, so tried to be nice to her.
That's a good hug.
We're up to 40 viewers right now, y'all.
Here we are. Welcome,
It's a
everyone.
shame. It's a shame we're starting the show over.
Be sure to rewind.
Yes, please. Lots of fun stuff. Lots of talking about Ace Steel biting and pulling Kenny Omega's hair.
Also, we're gonna have a kiss here in a few minutes.
Yes, we are. I'm a man of my word. I love
And we
Smith.
will, of course, fill you in on
Big Bad John Smooch.
if you haven't seen it, and you guys are just tuning in. A bet was made during Clash at the Castle, to which me and Max are cashing in right now.
Yep.
To which, for the first time ever on camera,
We're going to see Big Bad John the editor.
Big Bad John, the editor, and he's going to smooch this guy.
That's right. Good question. Who potentially would you think could beat Jade Cargill for her first defeat? So there are two schools of thought with that. You either bring someone in that's going to be a holy shit get, that's going to get buzz, or you really build someone organically. You have them take some big losses, and you have them really work their way up.
I don't really see anyone at this point.
Not right now, because it can't be Britt Baker, it can't be Thunder Rosa,
Won't be Tony Storm.
it can't be Tony Storm, it can't be Ruby Soho, because she's still got a lot of shine coming in.
Not to mention a broken nose. We won't even know when she'll be back in the.
You could do. It'd have to be a surprise.
If you want heat, take Conti.
Ty Conti could do it.
If you want heat,
I mean, if you really want heat, you bring in.
or I'm
Tessa Plant.
sorry, Tay Marlowe or whatever she's
Yeah.
going by now.
Yeah, Caleb's one of the best guys I know. Just want to happy birthday, buddy. Here's to many more years of memories. Thank you, John. I appreciate
I'm not buying a freaking bikini, Luke.
it. Your loss. They're cool.
Fine. Socks. There's mugs, shirts,
Koozies.
baby clothes,
Buy sneakers. Pro wrestling.
old school water bottles with
Yeah.
his face on them.
Got all kinds of stuff.
TikTok watches. I mean, you name it, we've got stuff.
TikTok watches.
Thanks, man.
It's called watches.
I'm trying to shield.
I understand that, but you know what? The TikTok is the sound they make. This isn't
I
a
thought that-
glass of wine. It's a glass of
I
wine.
thought that the TikTok was a social media app.
That's what the kids say.
Okay, but how you can make that into a watch?
Very carefully.
Technology. We can rebuild it.
We can make it faster.
Make the $400 man. The $40 pedestrian.
This one off the rails really fast.
The $8 guy. All right, y'all, come on. We've got literally 7 more minutes to field some questions here. I don't want to close this out too early because we got a queue full of people. Ask some questions about wrestling, please, for the love of God.
And ignore all this gray hair.
How about one more question, kids?
The kiss will come at the end of the show. That's what's going to happen.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Also, turn the lights down. Put on some music.
Turn the lights down
You're
low.
not gonna want to miss this.
Oh, boy. Light some candles, pour some wine.
He's already been drinking. He's sauced already, Johnny.
All right. Nice and loose, pal.
Just the way you like it.
Well, that's not entirely true.
It's not entirely not true. Where's Retribution to break in on our show?
There it is. There's the
Where's Teabag and the boys?
And the boys. Cream Puff and the Freaks.
Cream Puffy and the Freaks.
Oh.
I actually seen that kid the other day. He's no longer a Cream
I
Puff.
love
nor a
Cream
Freak.
Puff and the Freaks. Baby clothes. No, not baby clothes. What? No. No baby clothes. However,
Yes. Actually, there is toddler.
Pro Wrestling Throwdown onesie.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have toddler clothes. All right. Good for y'all knowing what the store that has my face on it sells, because I don't have a fucking clue. I do this thing every week, and I still have no idea.
That's okay. That's how we like it.
Oh,
How do you achieve? You don't gotta be smart.
How do we put on our pants?
current wrestler
Well,
that you think is very underutilized.
That's a good one.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler was for a long time, but he's been getting a lot of main event pushes and a lot of TV time lately. So I think that's a correction they're going to make. Dolph is definitely on the list of guys who should have been a top star way sooner. Eric Young is always going to be a guy that you just had the buck missed on him 100,000 times.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I know you don't really care for him, but I think Danhausen is being very underutilized right now. I really do. They put him in the crowd. They don't let him wrestle. Like, you paid all that money just to have the guy sit in the crowd and point at people?
No, you
man,
paid
let
all
the guy
that. You
wrestle.
paid all that money to produce merchandise that you can sell with his face on it.
Which does sell.
So they don't have to change the damn thing. Keep Danhausen out my
I
wrestling.
think he's
I don't come to his job and throw rocks while he's mowing.
easy. No, but seriously though, I think with the money you've spent, you should try to get the most out of everyone that you have on the roster.
I agree. Or you could spend your money more wisely and get people that are more easily utilized. And hear me out on this. I'm not saying that you can't use Danhausen. I'm saying if you're going to pay big money contract for that merchandise, give it somebody that you can use in any situation. Danhausen, while a great wrestler, while a great merch guy, while a guy who sells merch, you cannot put in any wrestling situation. Keep him special. Which is what they're doing.
I mean, technically, but for fans of the man who have actually watched him wrestle,
Can also still see him wrestle at any bar in the Midwest when he shows up at an indie show.
oh, I mean that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, that why wouldn't you want to push that more on TV, even on Dark?
I mean, I
Like
agree.
they don't even do it on Dark.
But they're not hurting the fans by not putting him on because you can see him every time you tune on IWTV.
That's true.
So it's like what? Yes, we should use him on RTV, but they're not killing his. They're not killing his push. They're not killing his cred. The dude's making money, and they're not putting him in situations to expose him.
How about Brian Cage?
Man, Brian Cage is a good hand, but he's not a guy that you would. A lot like Danhausen, actually. He's a guy you want to use sparingly because you don't want to expose his rigidness.
Jake Hager?
Jake Hager's not good.
No, but he's a name.
He's a name, but what more can you do with him than you already do? He's Jericho's enforcer.
But they don't do anything with him. That's the whole point.
But every time they put him in a situation where he's in a singles match, he looks like shit.
I mean,
So you
I
have him
guess.
keep being now a one-off where he beats some dudes up. That's one thing. That's his bread and butter. That's what you want him to do. You want him to be the guy who's hitting the security guards and distracting the ref and doing all the heavy lifting for Jericho, so Jericho can just coast on through. But are you going to look at me? But are you going to look at somebody and be like, "Hey, we got 20 extra minutes tonight on TV. Hey, let's put Jake Hager in a singles match." Hell no, you're not.
That's a good point.
That's attitude era booking. Let's take this guy who's clunky and put him on because we've got stars that are going to cover up his mistakes in the night. Hey, we're putting Punk at the end of the show, so let's put Jake Hager at the top of the show. No, go fuck yourself. That's bad. That's
Yeah,
bad.
that is pretty
And Wardlow is just now coming around to being good enough that he doesn't have to protect what he's doing as much as he was.
Well, when you have FTR as your tag team partners,
And you've got CM Punk in your ear telling
every
you what to do.
possible turnaround.
Exactly. But Jake Hager, number one, he came into AEW without a lot of real wrestling training. Yes, he came from the WWE, but everybody in the WWE wrestles the WWE style. There he excels because he knows exactly what they're going to do. He wrestles guys here from every walk of life, internationally, blah, blah, blah. You can't do a lot with him. That's going to look good.
Right.
I think that Cash Wheeler, even though he is a multiple-time tag team champion right now, is underutilized, considering
Ethan Page.
Dax Harwood gets so many singles matches. Ethan Page is definitely underutilized. Christopher Daniels, but he can't go as well at every turn as he used to, so there's an argument for that. When is Bray Wyatt back? When is Bray Wyatt coming back? He's already signed. Well, we don't have any confirmed reports that he has signed. The only confirmed reports there are is that Triple H is interested and close to re-signing him. Current or past, which wrestler has? I believe there's going to be more to this question.
Yeah.
The best entrance?
Best entrance I've ever seen?
The Undertaker. All day,
Ooh, it's a
every
toss-up
day,
for me.
for as long as you live.
Toss up for me.
What? If you say
we're
that
talking-
cross-eyed
hold on, if
Shawn
we're-
Michaels in my presence,
Hold on. If we're talking about specific entrances or just entrance in general? Because Michael's coming
Okay.
down on the zip line at
special
WrestleMania 12
entrances are
is pretty
different. Because John Cena's entrance where 50 John Cena's came out at WrestleMania was super awesome. But just general entrances always got to be the Undertaker. Karrion Kross, this is really good too.
Edge.
Edge is good. Ric Flair's entrance, for what it is always special. It's always good. But no, fine.
Dude, anytime Punk comes out, that crowd pops.
It's clobbering time.
Rey Mysterio, when he used to pop out as a
Yeah, that was cool. Stone Cold, every time you heard the glass break, though, that's a different level of over.
That's not so much an entrance.
The Road-
That's a pop on
The
the
Road
man.
Warriors, what a rush! That's hell. Team 3D when the fireworks used to shoot down and do the
Hogan?
explosion was cool. Hogan, oh wait, yeah, the NWO entrance coming out in the black and white, that's really cool. You know
DX?
who had a really underrated entrance for the time that it was? Eminem, the tag team.
Yep.
Where they came out with the paparazzi and it was all slow motion,
Yeah.
and that was the first time they really utilized graphics for their entrances. That was a really cool entrance.
Goldberg.
Goldberg's entrance is always cool, can't deny that. But no, Undertaker is by far the best.
Catch up on Raw real quick. We've got Johnny Sameface and
Oh, look.
Austin Theory face to face in an interview with not Renee Young.
Look at all the charisma that's not in this shot.
Look
Right?
at all that makeup, and I'm just talking about the lady holding the microphone.
Johnny Gargano's excited about something. Shame he can't look Austin Theory in the eye to say it. I don't know why I put on my commentator voice right there, but I did.
Today's match is
We've got a great show for you. We've got Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory in a match
Ultimate
that
Warrior.
everyone's going to use the bathroom while it's happening. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior had a cool entrance. Hogan, obviously, yes. The NWO. I'm trying to think of some other off the wall. Muda always had a very cool entrance.
Yeah.
Ultimate
The Miz that
Dragon.
year at Mania when they had the big, awesome
Yeah.
balloons, that was pretty cool.
Well, and Bray Wyatt's entrance, the original one, when he would come out, they'd shut the lights out, and everyone would hold up the lanterns. That was really cool.
Even the Fiend's entrance was kind of cool.
Fiend's entrance is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, throw it back to the TNA days, the early TNA days, when Jeff Hardy made his first entrance. They had all the green lasers going off. That was really cool.
Bobby Roode.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Roode's
Glorious.
NXT entrance is fucking dope.
Shinsuke.
With the violin, yes.
Well,
Thank you
I
very
was
much.
I was thinking Boogs and Pat McAfee. But we'll go with that.
Boobs.
No, I mean him playing the guitar and McAfee dancing when Shinsuke comes down.
All right, guys. We're going to get ready to wind down here with 5 last questions that we can get shot out here. And then after our 5 questions, I'm going to give Johnny a smooch. We're going to close out the show. Smooch! Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio is getting ready to face Dominic Guerrero, I think. Could be wrong.
Dominic Guerrero.
That's the one bad part about doing any kind of a Raw review or any kind of pay-per-view review while it's happening is we cannot hear the sound.
No.
Because obviously WWE owns the air.
Yeah, we don't
sound
want to get
so,
flagged for it.
We can talk about it all we want. We can talk about the fact that Rey Mysterio now looks like the Flash.
Ooh, Glacier did have a great entrance. I forgot about Glacier.
Yeah, Glacier put WCW in the hole by a couple $1,000.
Yeah, they spent money on that entrance. All right, guys, 5 questions about wrestling coming at you. Come on, throw them at us. What do you got? Rhea Ripley. Just.
It's something.
So I'm going to answer this one, but we've answered this one, I think, for like the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to leave it open to still have 5 more questions. It's favorite female wrestler of all time. But we've answered that one for the last 2 weeks in separate incarnations.
Yeah, you did Luna.
Luna Vachon is my favorite female wrestler ever, of all time. Current female favorite wrestler is Charlotte Flair.
Current favorite female wrestler, Thunder Rosa.
Damn good pick.
All time.
Bayley, also great.
All time, I mean, it's hard to really boot against China.
Yeah,
Being
China's
one
up
of the
there.
greatest female wrestlers.
First
of all
women's
time.
Intercontinental Champion ever in history. Only women's Intercontinental Champion in history. First woman to ever enter the Men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
A lot to be said there. Who's the second?
In my opinion, Trish Stratus.
No, second woman to enter the Men's Royal Rumble.
Oh, Beth Phoenix.
There you go. Shut up, Max.
What do you say?
Santina Morella.
You leave Santina out of this.
Get it out of here. Corey Martin also said Charlotte Flair. She is, pound for pound, in today's landscape, the best women's wrestler in the game.
I think that Charlotte Nia Jax.
Oh, no, don't.
Come on, man. Everything cool you did.
I wish you wouldn't have said that. She's just so bad.
She hurts her hole a lot.
She hurts everyone a lot. Which we've talked about before. A benefit of her size is that it makes her unique. One of the detriments is that she doesn't have the affordability to be as fluid as the other women she wrestles.
I would also like to make a retractment to a statement I made earlier. It looks like Rey Mysterio right now is getting ready to wrestle Damian
Priest, former Punishment Martinez.
Or as people like to call him, Randy Orton with long hair.
Yeah. Or not so big Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have time for 5 questions. 5 of them. Come on, throw them at us.
She's believable.
She absolutely is believable. No taking that away from her, but I'm talking about her fluidity and her marketability. How many times can she go out and have the same type of match where she hurts someone? How many times is her size a limitation, her skill level a limitation? She's bankable. Here's the old the Sid Vicious and Arn Anderson prophecy, right? When Vince wanted to hire Sid Vicious, they were also talking about hiring Arn Anderson at the same time. And Jim Cornette said to Vince, well, you can hire Sid Vicious for one night and he'll make you $1 million. You can hire Arn Anderson and he'll make you several $1 million over 5 years. So it goes to that. How are you going to use Nia? If you use her as an attraction and you keep it special, where you don't expose her in-ring ability, absolutely. You could steal several pay-per-views with Nia.
Well, here's the deal. When you talk about the believability aspect, the same thing can be said with Shayna Basler, Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Anyone who has a legitimate background or is legitimately big enough
And
to
strong
be able
enough,
to take
yeah.
on guys.
Yeah.
Anyone. Rhea Ripley is a perfect example.
Yeah, totally. But can you use Nia consistently at a top level and trust her skill level not to expose her? No.
No.
Woo!
Bailey's
Bailey's great. Yeah.
up there.
Becky, of course, goes without saying.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, tremendous in-ring talent. Bianca Belair, tremendous in-ring talent. Britt Baker.
I mean, it's all a matter of perspective on exactly what you look for in women's professional wrestling.
Yeah,
Because Mickey Knuckles is the greatest women's wrestler not to be on TV.
agreed. What is the storyline in any of the wrestling companies would you like to see happen? Good question.
Seriously? Let's see.
You're the book.
Rey Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley for the control of Dominic's soul.
For heaven's sake.
Actually, no. Storyline-wise, I would like to see Sting Michaels now. I don't even care if the match is shit. I just want to say that it happened.
Well, Taker Michaels first.
That too.
No, if I were
Taker
okay, so
Sting.
let's talk about modern day. If you got the book,
Ripley
and you could-
needs opportunity. 100%. She's getting it right now.
the storyline that we will get to eventually, that I would like to see, and that I obviously will have to happen, will be Kenny Omega and CM Punk, both vying for the best in the world position. That's the obvious one. That's one people are going to start looking to in about 6 months. Once Omega's been back in enough time to establish himself, once he gets out of the trios thing, and once he's able to focus on Punk, that's the storyline that's going to draw them the next series of pay-per-views.
Yep.
It's going to be Punk and Omega.
Yep.
What's the best part about a wrestling match? Watching or being a part of it?
From a fan's perspective,
Yeah, we'll do both. We'll answer both.
story. Great story.
Every single wrestling match, a bad wrestling match can be great with the right story.
Yeah.
A great wrestling match can be made even better with the right story.
Well, okay, here for the longest time we've been complaining because everything's boring, predictable, and all this, and here now Triple H is taking over, and we're second guessing things again. We're questioning whether is that guy really hurt or
Yeah.
they are with this, and
It's edgier.
you know,
As far as being a worker in the ring, the fans.
Nothing's good about it. It's all terrible.
The fans.
Some of them,
The reaction. Let me rephrase that. The reactions.
live crowds.
Yes.
Live crowds are the best part.
Performing in front of people.
Yeah. Being in the ring sucks because it hurts.
Kids.
When you walk out of the ring, it hurts. When you take your gear off, it hurts. When you drive home, it hurts.
Getting little kids that just want you
Kids
to
who
write your name
want your
down.
autograph. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Very fulfilling.
People chanting asshole at you, people starting riots, trying to tear down barricades to stab you with a shiv.
Pull your hair out.
That's always
Punch
been
you
fun.
in the face.
Bite
Always
you.
fun.
That's always a good time.
And that's just a family reunion at this guy's house.
Pretty much.
Hi, Dad. Love you.
never make the mistake of messing up that ever again, will you?
Bet your ass on one of them goddamn peas.
Corey Martin, MJF, and Bray Wyatt are my favorite wrestlers, and they control the match well.
Agreed.
I 100% agree.
You know who's got the best crowd control in the business?
Roman Reigns?
Randy Orton. I'm talking about live match crowd control.
Oh, Randy Orton.
Nobody can sink their teeth into a wrestling crowd except for maybe Ace Steel. No,
Fight
literally,
forever.
Randy Orton can look at a crowd the right way and put them in the palm of his hand. It's a skill that you number one, you don't get overnight.
Don't drink, no smoke.
Number two, it takes years and years to develop, but once you've got it, you've got it. Go back and watch every Randy Orton match from like 2015, 2016. Every single time he would just turn his head the right way with this look in his eyes, and the crowd would just go crazy. That's crowd control. When you don't actually have to move your body or do a move or be involved in anything, just being able to look at them and inciting an emotion, that's something you don't learn. That's not something you even develop over years. That
You know who comes
special.
to my mind when you say that?
Who's that?
Shawn Michaels. Ricky Morton. The ability to make that crowd feel.
Ricky Morton's the best babyface in the history of wrestling.
Yes.
Rock.
With the exception,
The Rock can do it, yeah.
With the exception of Ricky Steamboat, he used to be able to really captivate
Yeah.
like that as
Hell,
well.
Macho Man. Watching?
Oh, you know, me and Kev were driving down the road. You know, Sean Somas just kicked in, so he's asleep. Hunter's asleep. I just look at Kev and I'm like, man, I could really go for a beer.
Sorry. It's my Scott Hall impression, everybody. Watching it, it's entertaining. I mean, I can sit and watch a good match. Here's the thing. You can show everybody you know one bad wrestling match and they'll immediately hate wrestling forever. You can show everybody one good wrestling match, and it doesn't matter what they thought of pro wrestling before that moment. From bell to bell, they will acknowledge that pro wrestling might be the coolest fucking thing they've ever seen because everybody can love and appreciate good wrestling.
Yeah.
It's bad wrestling, it's hokey storylines, and it's nonsense that killed that ability. Right now, if we could live stream, I would show you guys Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle from WrestleMania 21. And you could have never watched wrestling before in your life. And for that 22 minutes, you would love watching professional wrestling.
Same thing can be said with one of my opinions, one of the greatest matches of all time, which was Steamboat and Savage at WrestleMania 3.
Oh.
It still holds up today.
Or you can pull up some random bullshit episode of Raw from 2019 and show them all the wonky cuts and all the ridiculous storylines and all the shit that doesn't look real or feel real, and then immediately you'll turn them off forever.
I was going to say Shawn Michaels and Hogan.
Michaels and Hogan? Well, that's a very special type of appreciation.
That's a real different.
Michaels and Taker?
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold, he controls the crowd in a different way. And it was a benefit of him being so over at the time that there's a lot of forgiveness for Stone Cold. If you go back and watch a lot of Stone Cold's later matches, they weren't all that great. But you don't remember that. You remember the glass breaking, you remember the beer drinking, you remember the double birds, you remember the moments of the match, but that's the difference. There are moments in matches that can totally change the story. For instance, Becky Lynch was struggling to get over big time. The WWE was close to releasing her until Nia Jax broke her nose. And when she bled openly on Monday Night Raw and looked like she just had a fight, Becky Lynch got on a fucking skyrocket to the top of the company for 3 years. That's a moment. But that's not great wrestling. Those things are intrinsically different, but both are necessary.
Yes.
Like how I put that?
I do.
You're welcome.
So, getting over is the point. Correct.
Sometimes getting over is the point.
Sometimes the point is getting the other guy over.
Sometimes it's just about making money. You know how many brilliant pro wrestlers who are just territory journeymen that you've never heard of? You've never heard of fucking George South. But George South, at the time of the territories, was the #1 journeyman in the wrestling business. He could go to every single territory and immediately get put on the card just for walking in. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, it was to wrestle their main guy and put their main guy over. But because of that, George South still today wrestles and is still one of the most recognizable names in the business if you know who he is.
One more question.
Worst gimmick in wrestling history, the gobbledygook.
The Kiss Demon.
What about Shockmaster?
Man, why you gotta pick on Fred like that?
Shockmaster. Okay. We're going to talk about the Shockmaster for a second. In WCW circa, what was it, 96?
92.
92?
Yep.
they run these vignettes about the shopmaster's coming, right? They're doing this backstage bit. They've got Sting, they've got Sid Vicious, they've got Davey Boy, they've got a fucking who's who of the top professional wrestlers in the game. Sting grabs a mic. He's talking about their partner for this War Games coming up, and it's the shopmaster. It's this big idiot named Fred, and a spray painted gold stormtrooper helmet.
Silver. It's a sparkly silver.
And this idiot falls through the breakaway wall, immediately killing all of his fucking heat. Hey, this man knows what's up.
Yeah, there you go. Typhoon, yes, or tugboat, depending on what era you want to call him from.
Yeah. All right. I like it, Corey. All right, guys. Well, I think we fielded our last question. It's time to give the people what they paid for. I'm going to move. Gentlemen's bet, get this out of the way.
And then I'll be back to help you close the show.
As part of our gentlemen's
What's
bet.
with all these hookers back here? It's messed up.
Hey, don't come to your
Sorry,
job
buddy.
and throw rocks while you're mowing.
Introduce the man.
This is Big Bad John. He is our in-studio editor. He's the man responsible for everything you see happen in the show. Big Bad John and I lost a bet, and I'm a man of my word. Big Bad John. There you go. All right, you perverts.
Oh,
Big Bad John, thank you for your service.
sweet and womanly, right?
Just like the told you.
Well, for practice. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We had a great show. We had a long
Also,
show.
someone said, nice to finally see you, Big Bad John.
He's a handsome man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to find us at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. You can also check out our streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. We can find our merch store. It's got all of our fun stuff over there. Stay tuned Wednesday. Hold on. There was board on the bottom of the wall that was there for stability. It was supposed to be removed, and it wasn't. And that's why Shopmaster fell. That is 100% correct. And he could have stepped over the board, but it wasn't in a place where he could have fucking hooked it, and that's what caused him to trip. So that being said, we're going to close up today. Make sure you look out Wednesday and Friday for arcade videos that are going to be coming your way. Stay tuned. Next Sunday, we'll be back at our regular time at 2:15.
Remember that the Toucan shows will have a phrase spoken from Ready to Rumble.
From Ready to Rumble.
Post it in the comments.
If you like both videos and comment on both videos with that phrase, you get 10 entries into our drawing. And if you share it to your social media page, you get an extra 5. So that being said, thank you all for tuning in on our Labor Day special. Thank you for tuning in on my birthday. I certainly appreciate all of the birthday wishes. And from us to you here, Pro Wrestling Throwdown, as always, keep it in the ring. He still bit a man this weekend.
Did.
He bit a man.
All towards his biters.
Give him the belt.
When he grabbed your hair.
Any Omega got bodied by CM Punk.
He really
You
did.
get to walk away from that.
Yeah, but at least they had the seat for Nick Jackson.